State people in here.
Ooh, the shoe is in the building.
And the reason why I know they're Ohio State people is because they were talking about the Tennessee-Alabama game. And I had written down on my sheet today, also, non-Bama Tennessee people, who you riding with. And they started talking about how they were riding with Tennessee because they hate Alabama.
We'll take it.
They're tired of Alabama.
We accept it. We are too.
And
we are too.
The entire country is for Tennessee except for Alabama fans.
Drinks all around.
That's where we are. And a lot of the people that are riding with Tennessee this weekend hate Tennessee.
You know what, though?
That's the beautiful part of what's going on Saturday.
You're absolutely right. I'm a little disturbed today coming.
You look reserved and disturbed.
I am, man. I am. And you know why? Because of Blaine and Luke. I mean, Blaine. My bad hit, man. Mickey and Lucas.
Blaine's left out of this?
Yeah, because Blaine wasn't there today.
Okay.
I'm listening to Mickey and Lucas coming in. And if I didn't know better, I think they riding with Alabama. I'm listening to it, and they telling me all the reasons why Alabama is going to win the game. I did not hear not one reason why it's even an opportunity or a chance or a glimmer of hope for Tennessee to win a game. So if I would have been in studio today, I probably would have walked. And I always fist pound everybody because I treat it like a locker room. We get ready for game time.
That's right.
I would have walked right past Mickey. And that's my man. I love Rascal to death.
Rascal.
Paying the man, that's my guy. I would have walked right past him, too, and not said a word. Probably mean mugged him. Because what are you talking about?
Jordan Alvarez, Tim?
Man, I'm trying to let them know, man, we don't give a damn about none of them stats that they talking about. Man, they got to go deal with Hendon Hooker. You keep telling me about Bryce Young. We know what he is. What they O-line going to do? You telling me what Will Anderson going to do? What Byron Young going to do? I'm hearing a toe, he can't cover nobody. What Jeremy Banks going to do? What is Rodney Garner going to do? Y'all didn't tell me nothing that Tennessee was going to do. I got a problem with them.
You know what?
I got a problem with them on this.
When you look at both of these teams, they're really similar.
Yeah,
honestly.
very.
The one thing that stands out to me that's a difference between these two teams, other than one of them's Alabama and everybody can't get past the history and look at one game on Saturday.
There you go.
The other thing is Tennessee has better and more elite playmakers on the outside than Alabama for the first time in, 20 years?
Very true. Very true. And that's the biggest thing. I understand about Will Anderson, and I understand about Gibbs, and I understand about Bryce Young. It shouldn't be overlooked or anything. Totally get it. But, dog, don't just glaze over what Tennessee got going on, man.
Yeah.
That, I didn't feel that by no stretch of the imagination. And I don't know if it was to bring the reality down or whatever it may be, but that's another problem that I got. Man, we in the moment. We staying in the moment because it ain't been no damn moment. That's what I'm trying to explain to them. Forget all that. I heard a guy call in, and he said something about that was real cool, and I've been hearing it. Man, I got a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 14-year-old, and all they know is Alabama beating up on
They've never
Tennessee.
seen Tennessee beat Alabama.
Totally understand it.
Yeah.
But explain it to me. I'm 41, and I was at school there, and all I remember is Tennessee beating up on Alabama.
I know.
When they had good teams.
Yeah.
Anybody that wore the number 2 was the dog on Alabama teams.
Yeah,
they had plenty of them.
There was a stretch of 10 where Tennessee won 9 of them.
Yeah, and so I want to know.
Won 8 of them. One was a tie.
Right. So don't steal that moment from them. Man, let them live in the moment, man. It's almost.
You did.
Whoa, Nelly.
You caught yourself.
I did
Nelly.
catch myself.
Is there vodka in your cup?
It might be. All I'm saying is, man, this is a moment, and regardless of the outcome of this, what I do believe, that you can't fall off. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be nothing but thrust higher and just keep on going if you're Tennessee. Alabama, this is a moment for them, and it was said that, people always get up to play for them. Everybody's the national championship game when they play Alabama. I think in this case, regardless of what's happening, they getting up for this game as well. So it ain't just nothing that it's Alabama versus there's some dogs on some dogs.
3rd and 4th down conversions and turnovers are going to be vital in this football game. But, for the first time in a long time, Tennessee's got a football team that can play with them for sure.
Right.
And, the point spread is interesting to me. I told you yesterday I thought it should be around 4.5. But it's getting to the point now where it almost feels like Vegas is trying to get you to bet for the Vols, and that makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Because now the line has gone from 7 since we talked yesterday to 8.5. And the reason for that is because Bryce Young will be a game-time decision. Saban said, I think he thinks he can play. So that's the reason for the line move. Cedric Tillman affects it a little bit. He's not going to go for Tennessee.
Makes
and,
sense.
you know, we went and had beers with Payne Insider and Todd Furman from the Bet the Board podcast,
right?
Which is a must listen to.
Oh,
They didn't do it this week. Brad Powers did it, and he does fine, but he's more of an informational guy. These two guys are really entertaining in how they present the information. So listen next week. The college football pod drops on Wednesdays, the NFL on Thursdays, Bet the Board pod on Twitter. But anyway, talking to them, they said Cedric Tillman worth a point to point and a half. That's what Payne told But that's the way the line moved.
It did.
So maybe the line movement is because of the Cedric Tillman news that he won't play. But if you look at Tennessee, I think they've put out there on film that they're fine at wide receiver without him.
Yeah.
They would benefit from him, of course, because he's one of the best in the game. But when you talk about Brew McCoy, he's got, he's been up over 100 yards.
Very true.
Jalen Hyde's been over 100 yards.
Yep.
Had a huge game against LSU. Ramel Keaton has proven that he can get past the secondary and catch the deep ball. He's averaging more than 20 yards per catch. Here is what Nick Saban said about Bryce Young. Bryce has practiced some this week, he said on his radio show. I think it comes down to, does he feel and do we feel that he can throw the ball effectively enough? Talking about an AC sprain in his shoulder.
Right.
Okay? He's not going to hurt himself by doing it. I just don't know how much it will hurt him if he does it. I don't know what that combination of sentences mean. He's done it on a limited basis, so that's the question, and nobody's going to know that until Saturday comes. He won't know. I won't know. Nobody will know. I know he wants to play, and I know he thinks he can play. We'll see.
Yeah, I think he's going to play, too. I mean,
he will, but the question is how effective, because you're talking about an AC joint sprain on your shoulder, and he will get hit.
Yep.
You don't think the defense knows where to aim? It's almost like putting a target on your body.
Yep.
Hendon Hooker, the same thing. Hendon Hooker, it's allegedly dealing with a shoulder thing too. But he did play against LSU and played well. He did miss some throws that he normally makes. And we were talking on Twitter, on text about that. You were in the building. But he was low throwing some of those screen passes. Yep. And then there was one on the sideline that was wide open that he sent into the bleachers.
Yep.
Joe Milton style.
Yep.
But outside of that, he did hit some throws, hit a big third down throw on a scoring drive late. And, we'll see. I'm anxious to see how this all goes down. Then you've got the Peyton Manning curse thrown into the mix. Peyton Manning will be the guest picker on game day.
Yeah.
And a lot of Tennessee fans are convinced that when Peyton Manning shows up, Tennessee loses. Let me go ahead and end that myth if you will listen to what I have to say. Tennessee has lost those big games that Peyton has been at because Tennessee hasn't been as good as the opponent when Peyton Manning was there.
Is that so?
You're talking about really bad teams playing against Georgia or Alabama or Florida, and Peyton Manning would go to the game and they would lose.
Yep.
They lost because they sucked.
Yeah. Yep.
They didn't lose because Peyton Manning was there.
They didn't even look the part when they walked on the field. Like it was a difference. I'm totally with you.
Now, Alabama's going to walk into that expecting to win.
Right.
It looks like Tennessee has kind of gotten their mindset to that. That is a huge thing. You know, as a former athlete, for those that don't know, Ron Slay, SEC Player of the Year in 2003, Sixth Man of the Year, all those things, professional for 14 years. You know that's true.
Without question.
If the team walks in believing that they're going to win, that is a huge advantage over the team hoping to win.
Yes, it is. Big difference. Big difference. It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to be able to dive into it more. I got a couple more questions for fans out there while we dive into the show. But let's get it on, baby. Let's get it on. I'm ready.
You ready for Mark Mariani?
Ready. I'm ready for blood in the water.
Blood in the water. Tennessee, Bama. Titans win 3 in a row. Mark Mariani, former Titan All-Pro, next on 104.5 The Zone.
Strikeout Wings, 3961 Nolensville Pike, 123 Ewing Drive. That is the location, man, for the home of sweet and sassy. Mix it all together, man, and you can get it the Ron Slay. That's a sweet and sassy with the lemon pepper mixed right there on top of it. The drizzle all over it. Cajun ranch fries, splitting and splitting the wings right in the middle, man, with the cheese melted on top. It don't get no better than that, man. And you got to be there this weekend. The watch party is going down. You got all screens on the big game, even the screens inside. If you request you want to watch the Big Ten game or something, you can do. But they will be showing you plenty of love, man. The Tennessee-Bama game will be on at Strikeout Wings. Get up there. Don't forget about the lunch combo specials, $8.99 lunch special every day, 11 to 3 p.m. outside of Tuesday, which is 69-cent wings. Live DJs will be performing on Saturday night. So get there, man. Get to the home of Sweet Satsy and tell them Big Slay sent you. Strikeout Wings. You getting ready to head up that interstate, man, looking outside in your driveway and not too sure about just what you can do to get on up there. Well, if you got a car sitting right there, don't hesitate to get it to Music City Autoplex, the Uncommon Dealership, 2430 Gallatin Pike North, just 15 minutes from downtown. And listen, I understand that you're probably hearing about the inventory and the supply train and everything causing a shortage of new trucks and cars and whatever it may be, used vehicles prices skyrocketing, people having trouble to find affordable cars. All of these, man, if you circling right now, all of the above, then you're listening to the right man. This is Ron Slay, man. I'm trying to tell you all about Music City Autoplex and what they'll do for you. Never at Music City Autoplex will you have to worry about all those things that are listed above. With over 350 units in every price range, it's something for everyone. Trucks, SUVs, cars, foreign cars, sports cars, whatever you can think of, they are going to get their hands on them because they got relationships, man. This is why you need to go to the Uncommon Dealership, 2430 Gallatin Pike North, Music City Autoplex. Go get your car.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. It is Tennessee-Bama Friday. And I know the game's in Knoxville, but I'm going to say the word Tennessee before I say the word Alabama. That's just how it is. Y'all know I went there, and y'all know I can be a pro and break things down and analyze and all that stuff. I'm just saying. You good with that, Slater?
Sometimes you can throw from that.
Are you going back to LSU?
Professionalism. Throw professionalism out of the window sometimes, Euro. This is a good time to.
I thought you got yelled at if you put Alabama first. That's why I thought everybody was doing it.
She's
well,
not
I mean,
here.
Alabama
Babs
at Tennessee. That's how Babs says that we should do it. And normally I would do it that way. Like Western Kentucky at MTSU.
Good thing Babs not here.
Where is she? Coastal Carolina? I don't even know where that game is.
I don't either. Is it
Myrtle
ODU or
Beach.
Coastal Carolina?
Oh, Myrtle Beach.
It's at Myrtle
Good
Beach.
Lord. Dude,
She having a ball.
it's better her be the sideline reporter than us because we might not make it there.
We'll still be at the beach. Can we do Zoom? Zoom from the beach?
Let's go down to Mayor and Slay. Wait, y'all are on the beach.
These margaritas are great.
The weather's perfect. The sand feels good in between your toes.
Feet in the water.
Back up
right
to you
now.
in the booth.
Yes, sir.
We got umbrella drinks coming. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we may check in with Babs later. All right, here's what we've got going on. Then we'll get to Mark Mariani. Mariani needs to drink, so he's got to come on early. Giveaways. Come see CJ. He's wearing the Preston Warren Tennessee jersey. If you know, you know. Pair of tickets to Tennessee versus UT Martin. Pair of tickets to Tennessee and Kentucky, which is on Halloween weekend. By the way, if I were the Vols on Halloween weekend against Kentucky, I would wear black.
You know what's going on. I can't imagine Danny White will miss an opportunity to do that.
Right?
Yeah, I know the players, too. He's got an ear to the players. So.
By the way, it's an orange out this weekend in Knoxville, so wear your orange. It's
all
be
orange, baby.
all orange all the time. The team will be decked out in orange. There were rumors going around that Tennessee was going to wear orange helmets for the first time since like 1937 or whatever it was when they beat Alabama 21-0. That is not true.
No.
They are not wearing orange helmets.
Thank you for clearing that up for us, Joel.
I just felt like I needed to. By the way, Will Levis will play too.
Okay.
Go ahead and clear that up.
Oh, that changed some things.
That point spread went from 7 to 3.5.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
Mississippi State still favored on the road, though, because they are the better team. But that doesn't mean they win, right?
Yep. Especially when they play, Kentucky plays bad and soft.
Pair of tickets to Tennessee, Missouri. Pair of tickets to MTSU, Western Kentucky. That's where I'll be. Tickets to Jason Aldean, which we need to give away in the 4 o'clock hour, CJ, because the concert is tonight. So you need Jason Aldean tickets. You can come see CJ in the Preston Warren, Tennessee 21 jersey, and you can get your name in the box. We will draw those. We will draw that winner in the 4 o'clock hour at some point. Also, tickets to see I Got Jelly Roll.
Well, when? December? When is this?
I don't know when.
I think it's December. At Bridgestone?
Jelly Roll is killing it.
Yes, he is. Love it.
Tickets to the Tennessee Beer, Wine, and Shine Festival. That sounds like a place for us.
Beer, wine, and shine.
Yes, we also have Shoot Your Shot coming up, the Parsley coming up. We need to get the SEC Slate Maker of the Week out there, the offensive line of the week, Babs' Badass of the Week, all that coming up. Ooh. Mark Mariani joins us now. Mark, what's up? How are you, buddy?
Let's go. We made it, boys. We freaking made it to Friday. I'm just a bandwagon with you guys. We know that, right? But all I can think about is this Tennessee-Alabama game, man, all week. And we made it.
You're Mark Mariani, former Titan All-Pro with us. You are allowed to be a bandwagon Tennessee fan because you're a bigger Tennessee fan than a lot of Tennessee fans.
It's very true.
Well, it has been a few years for me now that I jumped on here, but I don't think, even in my time, I don't think I've experienced anything like this, man. This place is buzzing. I mean, every single person you talk to has something to say about it. It is like, and I'm even, I'm a little partial to my, good old Montana Grizzlies, but I'm even texting the boys back home like, you should see what's going on in Knoxville this weekend. I'm telling you, I texted a couple buddies today, like, we will not miss another one of these. We need to make a trip, come out and see. Let me just show you a little something about the SEC, boys. That's, we got a nice little thing going in Missoula, Montana, but this is pretty sick, dude, and we are here. I saw you yesterday, bro.
Yes, you did.
What? Lock in, final 48.
Time to get to it, baby.
We T-minus 24 hours. Less than 24, kickoff. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
Mark Mariani with us on 3HL. A little inside joke, but shout out Josh Griffin over at Tin Roof because I was talking to Josh, and he said he was, speaking of buzzing, he said he was hanging out with Mariani.
Hey.
Yeah,
So Mariani's making it around town, man.
yeah, we had a late little one last night with the boys.
Was that like an old
and
school
a lot
Tin
of-
Roof night?
It was kind of, dude. You know, it was a little block and white action. And we looked around the room, and I was like, wow, I am in 2013 again. This is amazing. Dude, this is like all the good old boys. So it was nice and late. Voice is a little crackly today. Had to take myself a little afternoon nap. But I'm ready to go, baby. Back in action. Time to go this for the weekend. Oh, man. So, yeah, and Josh appreciated the shout-out, too. So he said you guys had a good time over at Tin Roof the other day as well.
Yeah, we did. At Mark Mariani 80 on Twitter, give him a follow. Let's start with the Titans, Mark, before we get to the blood in the water in Tennessee, Alabama. Titans, just got their head lopped right off their body against Buffalo. But look how they've bounced back. And we kind of talked about how the schedule kind of lended itself maybe to get a little more right, even though that there are and were holes with this team. But winning 3 in a row is a lot easier to work on things in a bye week when you've won 3 in a row, correct?
One of my old coaches used to tell me, good old Bobby House, winning after a game, he'd always say, winning's hard, losing's easy. Just go across the hallway and ask that locker room over there. So winning is not – yeah, winning, you never take it for granted. It's not always pretty, and it certainly isn't easy, and it's a really, really hard thing to do in the NFL. So we have 3 in a row under our belt, and we got a couple more, favorable matchups coming up here for the Titans with the Colts coming to town. We got the Texans before a rough little stretch of games. But anyway, so we got a chance here, and we need to make some hay. We need to make some hay because the boys are playing with fire a little bit, man. Tennessee, we are leading the league again in players played or whatever. We've been, it feels like we're just, taking body blow after body blow, and you just often wonder how much can we take. And I'll tell you, I just got to keep pounding this home and giving kudos to Coach Vrabel, man. I think that he has created a culture and an identity over there that when a guy, whether it's activated from practice squad or picked up off the streets, when a guy comes in, he knows. There's no questions. He knows the culture. You know what you're supposed to do, and that's strap it up, play fast, play physical. Go inflict some pain on your opponent and get your job done. And I think that's why we can plug and play better than a lot of teams. It's because of the culture that he's created. So it's fun to be, on a little 3-game winning streak here. I'm very nervous. Let's say like cautiously optimistic about what we have going on because, man, it just seems like we make it so hard on ourselves. But like you say, making corrections after a win is always more fun, and you got some guys flying around. Actually, I got to give a big time shout out to a guy who absolutely balled out last week, and he would get no love. This guy, I don't even know if you know this, Kevin Rader. You guys know who this is? Number 86. Kevin Rader comes up, gets activated, and all he does is make every single special teams tackle. Last week against the Commanders. And I swear, dude, I watched that game back, and I'm like, 86, huh? I haven't seen him out there. Then what happens? A punt? 86 makes another punt. I'm like, over and over. He made 3 tackles and forced another one to get blown up. It was like, dude, this guy's a machine. Anyway, got to give Kevin Rader some love because, I'm an old school special teams guy. But, we're all right. We're going to be all right. We got a couple more winnable games, and we got to go take care of business so that we can be the front runners in the AFC South, because as anybody else knows, all you got to do is get in the playoff race, baby.
Well, this time right here, man, we get to sit back this weekend and watch and hope Jacksonville takes care of business and puts enough space, and we can just put the Colts out their misery when they come back off this bye week, huh, Mark?
Hey, you know what? I don't feel one bit sorry for those Indianapolis Colts. I would love nothing more than end their season in week 7 or whatever it is. Hey, why don't you guys just take the rest of the year off, boys? That is one team where I would love to do that. But yeah, it is. I'm telling you, with this UT Bama game, I don't know if any of our emotions can handle another game this week. So this times out really well for everybody.
Speaking of the Colts, real quick, quick note. Colts coach Frank Reich said today Linebacker Shaquille Leonard and defensive end Kwity Paye are out on Sunday against the Jags. Running back Jonathan Taylor has a chance to play. They're going to mess around and lose to the Jags again and then lose to the Titans. And then, I mean, they at that point, they will have one more divisional game. That's it.
Dude, I know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And you know, and I did. Let me take that. I did kind of feel bad for Shaq Leonard. That guy's a beast. He comes back off this back thing, and then friendly fire gets him back in the cold tub against us. He hit his own man and kind of buckled there. I was like, dude, that is a bad way to go out. But yeah, I would love that sets up nicely for us to give them the old knockout blow next weekend at Nissan Stadium. I like the sounds of that a lot.
So should we just combine your take of Tennessee Bama with your blood in the water pick, or are you going a different direction today?
No, we can start going off right now. There's no other way to go, baby. We all know what the universe is trying to say this week. We all know what it is. I mean, dude, they're giving us more money today. It's at 8.5 now. I think it's plus 250. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's combine it, baby. There's no other way.
It's only right.
You already know what time it is.
Get to him, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally hit the one about last week. I apologize, Mariani. I'm so sorry, bro. Hold on.
We were not gonna talk about that. We're 3-3. We're plus 90. There we go. Let's go. Hey.
Let's get to it, baby.
Hey, Ron. I just got off the phone with Double H, baby. I just got off the phone with Hendon Hooker. You know what he said?
What'd he tell you?
Oh yeah, that's nice. He said that's really nice of those guys. He said, oh yeah, they're giving us 8.5 points. That's really cool at Neyland Stadium. Well, guess what? You know what time it is, boy?
Hell yeah.
You know what time it is. He gonna play like the Heisman candidate he is tomorrow too. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I just laid that bet. Tennessee money line
deal.
for Mark Mariani right there.
Hey, here's the deal. Here's what the Vols need. Here's what I think the Vols need to do tomorrow. Because here's how I feel about the whole situation. Right. First of all, Hendon Hooker's going to be the man that he is, dude. This dude is playing with so much swag and so much confidence. I love watching him. He stands back in that pocket. His feet are planted. He looks like he has got so much swag. But here's what they need to do. They got to have their mind right. They got to have their mentals right, and they cannot flinch. They are not going to take this field and blow them out like they did LSU. You just kept body shotting, and LSU just kind of gave up. That's not going to be Alabama. This is the big dog in the kennel, man. This is the champion. They do this every week. Don't forget. They have a target on their back every single week. So here's what you got to do. When you run out of that tunnel as the Tennessee Vols, you're going to have confidence. You're going to have confidence that you're going to win this game. You're going to know you're going to win the game. But what happens when Alabama scores first? You have a turnover. You have a 3-and-out. Don't flinch, baby. Do not flinch. Because they could smell that fear. They could smell that blood. Don't flinch. You got to keep pounding. You got to play 60 minutes against these guys because this is going to be a heavyweight fight. This is going to be back and forth. And Alabama loves to be the bully. They love to be the intimidator because they are. They have the dudes. They have the muscles.
Because they are.
To get it done. I mean, they have been. What do you mean? They got to go. If you want to be the champ, you got to go beat the champ. And here's the deal. So when those blows start coming and those live bullets, Tennessee, the boys cannot flinch. Cannot flinch because we can. That can spiral in the wrong direction. We got to keep fighting, keep scrapping. It's going to be back and forth. Dude, I'm telling you, Josh Heupel's got the boys rolling, and this is going to be a big day. And guess what's going to happen? Knoxville is going to be lit up, baby, all night long, baby. We're going to be partying in Knoxville, rock the top. You'll always be
home sweet home to me.
Woo! Good old Rocky Top.
Woo!
Tennessee. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
There he is. He's Mark Mariani. Sold by Mariani.com. Mark, time to drink some brown water, bro.
Hey, I got you, boys. You have a great weekend. Let's go. Thank you for letting me jump on this bandwagon, baby. Let's go, Vols.
Let's do it.
At Mark Mariani 80. I love it. Is there anybody in life that gets more fired up about anything than that guy?
Zero.
I love it.
Zero.
Passion for LIVIN. All right, when we come back, Josh Ward from Knoxville, WNML
Hi,
Radio with Josh and Jason Swain. will join us to kind of give us an update on what's going on in Knoxville with Tennessee. And we'll do that next. There's some anti-Yankee cheering going on in here. There's some Cleveland cheering going on in here, even more so.
Guardians.
This is another one where everybody in America can agree with the Cleveland fans here, outside of the Yankee fans, which are everywhere, unfortunately. I'm just kidding, Yankee fan, sort of. All right, we'll be right back. Get your butt to Scoreboard Bar and Grill. Get some great food, some drinks, and register to win a ton of things. Jason Aldean tickets will be the first thing that we give away in the 4 o'clock hours to get your name in the box. See CJ. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045, The Zone.
Bets from the same game. Score an even bigger payout, which is perfect for a little weekend action for you. No Titans? No problem. Maybe look at the Jags Colts, another AFC matchup. Same game parlay, build it with, well, let's see, the Jags sacked Matt Ryan 5 times in week 2. So maybe over on sacks for the Jags defense. Maybe go under rushing yards for that Colts QB. You know, that's a shoe-in. Add in running back anytime touchdown. Boom. Same game parlay. One of the reasons I bet with FanDuel. No feeling like nailing that thing. Lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook. And right now, new customers, you get $150 in free bets, win or lose with promo code DAWN. That's promo code DAWN. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets. Expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. With your home value up again, you are sitting on a pile of money. Don't just let it sit there. Use it. Hey, it's Dawn Davenport for my friends at Loan Pronto. Check out Loan Pronto's equity line of credit program. You don't have to refinance, but you can access up to 97% of your home's value. Get cash now, pay off all your credit cards, or do that home improvement project. Get your down payment for a new home or stash away for a safety net. You can get $50,000, even $100,000 or more out of your home, and the payments right now are crazy low. Think what you could do with $100,000 right now. Loan Pronto makes unlocking your equity easy, and they can probably even waive the appraisal too. Don't just let all that home equity pile up. Turn your house into an ATM machine. You don't have to refinance, but you can access up to 97% of your home's value. Get the cash you need. Call Loan Pronto now, 615-499-5780. That's what I did. LoanPronto.com, 499-5780. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
HL 1045 The Zone. You can get your hot chicken here at Scoreboard Bar and Grill in Hiroshima. Did you do that one time, Curb? By mistake, he said, yes. And Curb likes hot stuff. Like, he doesn't back down.
Yeah.
But that was hot.
I know.
Hiroshima.
Kirby always says bring it on.
I love it, too. That's an aggressive move in 2022. Hiroshima. Satan's tongue.
Are these things you thinking about getting?
I'm just telling people what's available.
Oh, excuse me.
You okay over there?
It's the onion rings.
Sure.
You've had wings and rings.
Yep, wings and rings. That's right.
Hot, medium, mild, and sissy.
Hey, that my boys down there at the bottom. Sissy, that's me. Hell yeah. There's nothing on it.
There's not a damn thing wrong with
right.
that.
That's right. Just good.
Yeah.
Just good.
Josh
Good
Ward
flavor.
joins us from Knoxville, live WNML Radio. You catch Josh Ward and Jason Swain each midday during the week on WNML Radio. Josh, what's up? How are you? Yo, Josh.
You know what? I can't wait to ask Josh.
It's too wired in Knoxville, maybe.
It is. I promise it is. I was
There's too much electricity. It's just dropping cell phones.
I jumped on with them this week. I think what day? Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. I jumped on with them, and man, I could feel the electricity coming through the phone. But I one thing about Ward that I admire in him, he always tries to contain himself emotionally, try to get through the job, but you can really feel it bubbling up inside. And I was watching him on the camera while I was talking to him, like, Josh, just let it go. I'm thinking to myself, just let it go, man. Like,
there he is right here, Josh Ward.
Shake up the Coca-Cola bottle and just open the top, dog. Just let it go.
Josh, are you trying to stay reserved during this Tennessee-Alabama week?
Not a chance. We talked to Slay earlier this week. There's no chance of that happening going into tomorrow. No, nobody's trying. Nobody's trying that. Knoxville is, I think, ready. I think a little too ready. We today on the show we did preach pacing a little bit into the 3:30 kickoff, but a few weeks ago the atmosphere was incredible for Florida, and I really think it's going to go up a notch tomorrow.
That's going to be crazy.
I mean, for those that don't know, this is the first time since 1989 both teams have been undefeated when they play.
Wow.
Think about that.
Since 89.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Tennessee hadn't beaten 4 ranked teams in a regular college football season, not counting a bowl game, since 1998. They're 3-0 this year.
Wow.
This is a big game. I am curious though, Josh, because I mean the Florida game was big. So have we amped that up in Knoxville?
Yeah, I think so, because the Florida game, I really sensed more anxiety going into it because Tennessee hadn't beaten Florida yet. There was still that talk.
Like you almost had to win that game, right? Like this is more house money.
Yeah, it is. But, I think because of the win against Florida and the way Tennessee beat LSU, I think fans feel more comfortable and confident talking about what this team is capable of. There was the Bryce Young factor. I mean, I think that's part of where the confidence on Tennessee's side comes in, either his unavailability or lack of being 100% if he's out there on the field. But it's Hendon Hooker, what he's doing at quarterback. He's a legitimate Heisman candidate at Tennessee, and you need to score points in this game, and that's just been so hard for Tennessee going into so many of these games against Nick Saban team. This team, Tennessee fans believe and should believe that they can go put points on the board and that they can move the ball down the field. I think Nick Saban believes that Tennessee will have a chance to do that. So I think what this team has accomplished, that win against Florida, really allowed Tennessee fans to say, you know what, this team might be able to do something, and that belief has carried over into this week.
So do you think the battered Vols syndrome thing, which is a real thing, has been like kind of pecked away at a little bit?
A little bit, not all the way. We've still gotten a few of those calls this week as well. Like, I'm starting to get a little nervous. Like when more people nationally are saying, we should watch this Tennessee team. I don't think fans like that necessarily so much. But, game day coming back and the SEC Nation being here and just all the national attention in general, I think fans are loving that. But, the whole keep your cup on idea, that still holds true, I think, for enough fans for it to not be completely removed.
Josh, can you put this in reality for me real quick before we ask you a little bit more about the game? A lot of people call in and say, my 10, 13, 14-year-old hasn't seen Tennessee play in a meaningful game like this or, go against Alabama. They just always get dominated. Can you tell me what 10, 13, or 14-year-old kid has not seen Alabama dominate someone? Like, what school has Alabama not dominated in this run?
Yeah, that's everybody, right? With what Alabama's done, and but Tennessee's trying to get back into that entire conversation. So the Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State class, I think that's really what a lot of this is about, because no matter the age, at this point, you really want to see Tennessee beat Alabama if you're on Tennessee's side. There are non-Tennessee fans who want to see Alabama go down to Tennessee this weekend, but it's about getting back in that conversation. That's why I think this week has been so refreshing, because it hasn't brought the anxiety of the game. I mean, some of that will set in probably kickoff tomorrow, and we'll see how the 60 minutes will go. But Tennessee being a part of the conversation that fans, whether you're 15 years old, 25 years old, 55 years old, that you've just been sitting out watching from the sideline the last 15 years. Tennessee used to be a part of the conversation almost every year, and Tennessee is back in that conversation this season.
Love to see it. What do you think this offensive line, Carver and Mincy, what do these guys have to do going into this matchup? And how big is it? Like a lot of pressure, not a lot of spotlight being put on guys like Hendon Hooker and the guys on the outside, but none of that is possible unless you can get the guys up front to give them a little second to throw. How important is it for this offensive line?
Oh, man, it's top of the list for me. Hendon Hooker is the guy that can drive this offense, but if he doesn't get proper protection, he's not going to have a chance to do that. And, Alabama's going to bring Will Anderson and Dallas Turner. They're two of the best in the country. Anderson, he'd be one of the best in the NFL if he were out there. But they're going to bring somebody from the defensive backfield at some point. So the offensive line and pass protection in general, the backs, the tight ends, they're going to have to make sure that they communicate very well, because Alabama will bring people. They're going to try to get to Hendon Hooker, and he took a hit last weekend where the ball came out. If the ball comes out and goes into an Alabama player's hand, then that could be really problematic this weekend. And you don't want Hendon taking shots. Period. He looked like he took a real shot in that game. If he takes another one, if he takes two of those, does he get up every time? You don't want to find out the answer to that question. So protecting Hendon so he can take shots down the field, because I think what you want to try to do against Alabama is you're going to have some opportunities. Their defense has been among the best at keeping teams from hitting big plays, but they haven't faced a test like Tennessee and what they're able to do. And Jalen Hyatt has a chance to hit some big plays against Alabama's defense, but not if you don't protect Hendon. So you're trying to protect him so he can make plays. You're trying to protect the football at the same time.
Protect the football. That's the definite key for me, for sure. And when you talk about sacks, Will Anderson has 5. He's got 10 tackles for a loss. Alabama as a team has 18 sacks in 6 games. But what's weird about this Alabama team is they're not turning people over, right? Like they've got 2 interceptions. They've got 1 fumble recovery. That's kind of a weird little window into this football team to me.
Yeah, and if we go back to the kind of anxiety question, last week the ball bounced favorably for Tennessee, right? The literally opening kickoff, ball bounces to a Tennessee player, Will Brooks heads-up play to get the ball. 3 times the ball hit the ground on Tennessee's offensive side, and it bounced either to a Tennessee player or out of bounds, so the Vols kept it. Alabama had the ball bounce to Texas A&M a bunch of times. You don't want to test your luck again in that case. So Tennessee securing the football, if they can take the ball away a couple of times, we'll see it at quarterback. If Milroe's in there, then obviously Tennessee's going to try to do something to force him to make a mistake. But in this kind of matchup, it's not a situation where too many times in the last 10 to 15 years we've said, well, Tennessee has to be +3 to have a shot in the game. It's more about, can Tennessee play straight up? Can Tennessee not help Alabama, especially if the shoe's on the other foot in this case, where you're talking about them maybe needing a little help offensively depending on the circumstance. So taking care of the football is an absolute must. If you help Alabama and you give them a chance to get the football, they can turn the game around on you quickly.
Josh Ward, WNML Radio. All right, Josh, who do you think wins this football game?
Yeah, so if fans haven't gotten scared yet, they might hear, because I actually like Tennessee as well. And I'm taking Tennessee by a point. So the slimmest of margins, I said 35-34 in our show today. But part of it is the Bryce Young question, either playing or playing at 100%, and then confidence in Hendon Hooker. I mean, this is a matchup where I think right now you can feel more confident in Tennessee's quarterback position. I think the atmosphere is going to be incredible, so I will give that edge to Tennessee. I think it's the first time I've picked Tennessee to win this game since Nick Saban's first season. So the conversation has shifted, and I think the streak will shift back to Tennessee.
There he is. Thank you, Josh. Let's
Love
enjoy it, baby.
Josh_Ward. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it, man. Have fun this weekend.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, Josh Ward. Really good Tennessee information there. That was very well done by Josh, who always is one of the best at remaining professional at all times.
Yes, he does.
But he said, "I'll in on this one."
I'm telling you, y'all. We're going to talk about it in the next break. Next segment.
We have an open segment next segment.
Uh-oh.
It is a big recruiting weekend.
Oh, yeah.
In Knoxville as well.
Yes.
We'll tell you how many 5-star players will be in attendance, how many 4-star players will be in attendance, at least scheduled to be there now. As we broadcast live from Scoreboard, remember, get your name in the box when you come see us. Get some chicken, get some beer, get some Low Country Boil on Saturdays. I'll tell you about that when we come back. That's a really good opportunity every Saturday in October that they've got going here at Scoreboard as well. We're watching Yankees and Cleveland 2-2 in the 10th inning. Braves game coming on. Is on as well. And we're going to watch some baseball, talk some sports. Tennessee, Alabama Friday. This is 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Diggins Surf and Landscape Supply, that is where you need to go to learn more about how you can make your lawn the best that it can be. And the experts at DigginsSupply.com can help you out. Trey Hartsook joins us now to give you a little bit more information about what they've got going at Diggins Surf and Landscape Supply. Trey.
Brent, what's going on, man? Hey, I will tell you what, something crazy happened this week. We got a little rain, so that made us all really excited here, especially for the people that have overseeded with the PTT proven turfgrass technology only available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. What we want to do now, Brent, now we've got our seed down a lot of people, and if not, you still have plenty of time to come on in and get that seed down, but want to be making sure we keep leaves off of it, keeping debris off of our seed so we can make sure we get germination, that our seed is going to be in a good place to continue to develop and grow. It's like raising a baby, right? Got to keep it fed, got to keep it looking good. So if you got any questions about what you're seeing, just stop in and see us. Want to make sure we're doing that. Want to make sure, too, that we're following up with our fertilization applications so we can keep our grass looking green all throughout the winter. And if you don't have a way to keep those leaves off, just come into a Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. We can get you a really neat handheld blower, backpack blower, any and all things equipment related. We can help you out for any task in the lawn. All you got to do is stop in and see us. We're conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Cool Springs, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lombard, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Opening up at 7 a.m., closing at 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays. Brent, if you can't get a hold of us, you know what to do. Check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
This is the perfect weekend for you to go get that victory vehicle if you're a Tennessee fan and they beat Alabama. Certainly time to go get that ride. If Tennessee doesn't beat Alabama, then maybe it's time for you to console yourself with a new ride. Either way, maybe you need something new. Maybe you need something less expensive payment-wise. Maybe you need more room. I don't know what your situation is, but you do, and they will too when you go talk with my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. There will be no pressure on you at all. They simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you, and that's what will happen when you go see my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee, about 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Best vehicle buying experience you've ever had. Go ask your questions. They'll have the answers for you. You take your test drive. You go inside. They'll help make the numbers work. It'll be that easy. I've bought multiple vehicles from these guys. I've known them for a long, long time. They are great people, and they are there for you. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. Vols in Alabama, 2:30. You can hear it right here on 104.5 The Zone. And yes, if you're getting over to Knoxville early, not only make sure that you stop by and see everybody broadcasting from 104.5, Kayla, Will, Ramon, Slay, all of them, but also get to see Peyton Manning be the guest picker for College Game Day. That could be or bad, depending on what you believe as a Vol fans. And the NFL on Sunday, Kyle Pitts is officially listed as questionable against the 49ers. You'll need to know that for fantasy football. And if for some reason you decided that you needed Andy Dalton as your quarterback, well, he's going to be starting for the Saints against the Bengals on Sunday. Right now, MLB playoffs, the almost said Indians, the Guardians are up 4-2 right now in the top of the 10th, and the Braves and Phillies are tied at 0 in the first. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL at Scoreboard. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What up, Nashville 3HL is on the air, 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. We are out and about at Scoreboard Bar and Grill. They've got something
Kirby's
going
crazy.
on Saturdays in October. I'm just going to keep talking. Kirby is crazy. On Saturdays in October, every Saturday, Low Country Boy.
What is that?
Low Country Boil.
Okay, I
Boil.
thought it was a short guy from the country coming in here. real short guy from the country.
Maybe the Low Country Boy is doing the Low Country Boil. I don't know.
Maybe I think you crazy.
Fresh jumbo easy peel shrimp. I talk for a living. Can you believe that? Fried catfish, fresh Gulf oysters, grilled or raw, sausage, corn, potatoes, all the fixes every Saturday in October, noon to 5 p.m. Great place to watch football for sure. And always have a good time out here. Yeah, Hunt mentioned that the Guardians just took a 4-2 lead in the 10th inning. Ramirez doubled to left, and then he was safe at third on a throwing error by Donaldson, and then he came in on Gonzalez's single to right. Naylor then doubled to deep center, misjudged by the outfield, and Naylor scored as Hunk was talking. So that's 4-2. Guardians over the Yankees is trying to take a 2-1 series lead in this deal.
That would be
I
stealing
think.
one.
No.
No. It's supposed to be. It's going to be tied at 1 because their game got rained out
1-1.
yesterday.
My bad. Yep, that's right. Braves and Phillies scoreless in the top of the second. Come watch baseball with us. Tony the Stud is here.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Slay is here.
Just you know it.
Good old Rocky Top. This kind got no root. This kind got no root.
Yeah, buddy.
No root. No
Slay
root.
Dog.
Yes.
We need to take some phone calls, I think.
We must. But you know what we got to tell people first, though, y'all?
What do we need to tell them?
You got an opportunity today before it hits 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern. What I need you to do is, people, hydrate. Drink a lot of water.
Before 9 o'clock
tonight. Yeah, get your hydration because people going to start drinking tonight.
You think we're all
the game tomorrow.
You think we're all gremlins?
I just think if you don't get this in your system, you can have an episode. And so if I see water in your hand tomorrow at the game, I might slap it out your hand because I expect you to be drinking.
I thought you said that you should have drank water in Baton Rouge.
I did. I didn't hydrate, though. So I went back and did the research. I watched the film.
Yeah, you do it the day before. That's
there
right.
you go.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. All right, get that done. Also, come down to Scoreboard, and you can pick games against us. What are the games, CJ? Tennessee Bama's one of them. There was a weird game in there. NC State Syracuse. Just give me the sheet.
Yeah. I knew CJ was about to start doing that. Just calling them out.
With no mic.
Yeah.
You're like Kirby and that guy
Video,
on Regis and Kelly Lee or whatever that show is. Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State at Michigan, Oklahoma State at TCU, NC State at Syracuse, Bengals at Saints, Bills at Chiefs, Cowboys at Eagles. I already filled my sheet out.
I did too. You know,
okay, good.
I went through that thing pretty fast this time.
See, this is what we do our work early around
Come
here.
on, man.
We don't wait till the last second.
It's kind of matter of fact with it.
Yeah. So come drink in front of us, have a shot. We'll watch you. That's what'll happen. You've got a chance to win a pair of tickets to Tennessee UT Martin, Tennessee Kentucky, Tennessee Missouri, MTSU Western Kentucky, Jelly Roll,
Yeah.
Tennessee Beer, Wine, and Shine Festival, and Jason Aldean, which is tonight. You can win Jason Aldean tickets for tonight by getting your name in the box.
Name in the box.
We're going to give away the tickets during the 4 o'clock hour,
that'll be
which is now.
Right
You want to
now.
go to the phone and see what the people are saying?
Let's see what the people are saying.
Real quick, by the way, Bryce Young will be a game-time decision. Quote, I know he thinks he can play. That's from Nick Saban. The line is now 8.5, jump from 7. Cedric Tillman not expected to go for Tennessee. Let's go to Jackson in the Borough next up on 3HL. Jackson, what's up?
Jackson.
What's going on, Chef? What's going on, hon? What's going on, Big Slay? How you doing,
What's
Bubba?
up, baby?
Man, you ain't gonna guess where I'm at right now. Guess where I'm at?
Where you at?
I'm in
Gus's.
the building, big baby. Yes, sir. And tomorrow morning, I'm at college game day. Then after that, I'm in the stadium, big baby.
Yeah.
And listen, I got one question for you, big dog. Hey,
Talk to me.
Wait. Hey, how bad are we gonna be? You know what, Bama? No, we don't call them Bama. BAMA. Suck. Okay. So how many points you got us by beating Bama? Let me hear it right now.
Man, straight up and down, man. I got us beating them by 5, man. You know what I mean? You make me.
Right.
I ain't gonna put my prediction out till the end. But hey, I'm all for a route. Also, I'm all for with like a 12-point, 13-point win. But I got them by 5
Hey,
right
man.
now.
those are rookie numbers, dog. You got to pump the numbers up, dog. I'm talking
Talk to me.
balls by 50. You hear what I'm saying? You know what? Go ahead, give us Slay. Give us, suit us up right now. Give me a helmet. I want 98. Big Slay. Give him 33, and we out there all day, every day. Rocky Top, yes, sir.
Let's go, baby.
Could you see a scenario? Could you imagine Neyland Stadium if Tennessee just went out there and rolled the Tide?
Lord.
Like threw down a 38-17 out there or something?
I honestly can't see that because I don't know what the response. It would be people literally crying.
Oh, literally.
Like the Tennessee-Florida game that time when they made their comeback. It would be people crying and celebrate. It would be, man, I don't know if the police are ready for that.
I might be crying.
See what I'm saying? See?
And I'll be at Floyd Stadium.
Hey, man, dog, this gonna be one. This gonna be one. It'll be one for the ages if that happens.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Can't see it either. But, I mean, if Milroe goes.
Listen. So that was my next question to you. I know we're going to get back to the callers, but what percent do you think Bryce Young
Well,
wouldn't
it's just
play?
weird because it's a shoulder. So I don't.
Right.
I think they're going to be overly
I've had a shoulder.
Yeah, I think they're going to be overly careful with him. Wouldn't you? Yeah. Because you could drop this game and still win the national title.
Yes.
But if you drop this game and drop your quarterback, you ain't winning a national title with Milroe. No disrespect. I'm just saying.
You're in trouble. And I'll say this, man, about shoulders. Like, you can get it back feeling good, feeling right. It takes the least amount of pressure to make that thing pop out, to sprain it again. And when I say it's nothing like a back or a shoulder. Like, it feels worse than I don't even know what it feels worse than, but a shoulder injury,
yeah,
dude.
I mean,
I cried like a baby. It wasn't nothing I could do. But then when they popped it back in, I felt great right away. Took me about 5 or 6 days. We had to play a playoff game in 3 days. If it would have been 5 days, I would have played. But then I saw when I got back home, I was working out, reached for a rebound, and I felt it pop out. And luckily, I didn't panic. It kind of sucked back in, but the pain was there. So that's something you don't want to play with, man.
At one point, Nick Saban said he had an AC sprain.
Yeah. So
them
ligaments, man, they different. Sprains, whatever. Sprains, torn, whatever it may be.
Let's go to Wayne and Brentwood next up on 3HL. Wayne, what's up? Happy Friday.
What up, Wayne?
Hey, happy Friday. You all pumped up for the game?
Come on now, man. I'm talking about this
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid
right now.
Hey, word on social media is that Bryce is playing, so I don't know how true that is.
That's what we hear too.
But tomorrow it doesn't matter who's playing. Tennessee's going to win by 14. Smokey's going to be biting inboard and crimson. The whiskey's going to be flowing. They're going to have nightmares about Rocky Top playing the whole game.
Yes, sir. Smoke
Let's
is
go
on
Vols.
the prowl. Let's go, baby.
Thank you, Wayne. Did he just say inborn and crimson?
Crimson. Kind of cool. I feel Wayne on that one right there. I like it, Wayne. I like
Tennessee
it, Wayne.
fan is confident, man. I'm
Yes.
telling you. I've been saying this for years. If Tennessee gets elite good in football, just look the hell out. Because, like, if you're annoyed by Tennessee fans, just wait. I mean, well, if they win this game and then they got UT Martin the next week.
Yeah.
Before they get ready for Georgia.
Yeah. I got my partner, man, called me last night, man, from Ohio. He's up. I forgot what part in Ohio he's in, man, but they got a
Akron.
No, it's a little small town, man.
Dayton.
It ain't far from Dayton. No,
Germantown.
We're just gonna throw out random Ohio cities until you get there.
I'm saying that.
Miamisburg.
Is it Spring? No, Spring. No, not Springfield, Ohio. You thought you were up there with the Simpsons? Anyway,
Okay, small town Ohio.
yeah, small town.
All right.
Anyway, giving a shout out to my guy Brad Hamilton, man. They listen to the show all the time.
All
you know
right.
what I mean? He didn't even know me and my guy played with each other. And he went over there talking about him one day. So him and Cooper Hamilton, man, shout out to them. They will be having a watch party in Ohio. So, hey, man, it's love down here from Ohio fans.
Yep.
It's love for, hey, we know what to do. Don't y'all worry about it. We ain't going to let you down.
Yep. All right.
We got you.
I can't talk today. That's how ready for
Go
this
down
game
there
I
and LSU. Go down there and LSU with it.
Maybe I should drink some vodka.
No.
Our Ohio State crew here is for Tennessee
Yes.
in this game.
Yes.
They're also for Cleveland, who now has a 4-2 lead rolling into the bottom of the 10th. Braves also in action. You can watch it all here at Scoreboard. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to check in with Alan Bell. He will be live at Scoreboard, and we'll get his take on this line movement from 7 to 8.5 with regard to Tennessee. Also, Will Levis will play for Kentucky, so that spread has gone from 7 to 3.5. Mississippi State still favored. Did you watch the game last night?
No, man. I stayed. I said I can't do it 2 weeks in a row. And guess what? They ain't let me down. 2 day thing went at it.
Washington won literally by like 2 inches.
I saw that. I saw the pass.
My man had to double catch the ball. If he just caught the
first
ball.
time, it's a touchdown. Catch it the first time, it's a touchdown.
But if you watch the game last night, you understand how much the Bears receivers struggle to catch the ball.
Really?
And it's tough when you're a receiver and you can't catch. That makes it hard on the quarterback. So the quarterback's taking all the heat, Justin Fields, who is kind of a one-read and then run guy. That's fine. But I'm telling you, man, that dude was getting hit every time he threw the ball, and he would put it on the money, and they would not catch it.
So he got cornerbacks playing receiver.
12-7 was the game last night. It was ugly. Ron Rivera went off when asked about the whole quarterback situation, which was funny to me because he was the one that brought it up.
Yeah, you the one started this.
Here's what Ron Rivera said when asked about Carson Wentz and him choosing him as a quarterback.
You know, they've played their asses off. They have. They played their asses off for everybody. They come out and they show up. They work hard. All right. They don't complain. Okay. They hear all this stuff and they got to deal with it. I get that. I respect them for it because they're resilient. They come out. Everybody keeps wanting to say, I didn't want anything to do with Carson. Well, bullshit. I'm the guy that pulled out the sheets of paper, that looked at the analytics, that watched the tape in the freaking when we were in Indianapolis. Okay? And that's what pisses me off. Because the young man doesn't deserve to have that all the time. I'm sorry, I'm done.
I mean, he started it.
Yeah, if they don't deserve to have it, don't say it.
I mean, basically what he said earlier in the week was, we don't have what other teams have at the quarterback position. I mean, what are you going to do?
Plain and simple like that, too. That was it.
Which is right. Carson Wentz last night, 12 of 22 for 99 yards, was sacked 3 times.
I wish you stopped calling him that.
Nathaniel?
Yeah, that sounds good. Sounds fitting.
Check this out. Justin Fields now 0-5 in night games for the Bears. Fields was pressured 18 times.
Come on, man.
Last night. That means he's been pressured on 46% of his dropbacks this year.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Yeah, just try to sprinkle a little good success in there somewhere. Sorry.
Scoreboard Bar and Grill. That's where we are. Music Valley Drive. Get down here. Get your picks in against us. If you win, you can. If you beat us, which I'm quite sure. Have you won yet? I haven't been told I won yet.
I've won until I've been told different.
So
I don't won every week.
What does that mean?
I've won every week.
So we're speaking slang.
Ain't nobody told me I haven't won, so I've won. Makes sense to me.
Have you received $250 worth of stuff at Scoreboard?
I would never tell. I'll never tell.
All right, Alan Bell coming up live at Scoreboard next on 104.5 The Zone.
Use Red Dog Wine and Spirits, man. Get in there right now before you hit the road or before you host this big-time party that you got going on tomorrow afternoon. Yes, Red Dog Wine and Spirits, 1031 Riverside Drive, Franklin, next to Publix off Highway 96. You need to slide on in there, man, and listen. Make it this simple. You ain't even got to get it out your car. You ain't got to do it. You can get to them on reddogwineandspirits.com. Shop online for curbside pickup, have it delivered in the Franklin area via Instacart, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grizzly, or come visit us in store for the latest selections. Now, when you go in there, you let them know I'm in the building, and you know Red Dog going to take care of you. You know they got a Franklin favorite since 2000, one of the largest selections of wine, whiskeys, and spirits. You can't beat it, man. Now, what you also got to realize is the tasting bar is wide open. Friday, today, 3 to 6 p.m., perfectly cordial mixes. Saturday, 3 to 6, wine tasting with Sammy. Get on in there, and guess what? Pay attention to 3HL. I'll tell you a little bit more even later. So, Red Dog got you.
All right, summer is over. You know what that means. You want your house to be organized and beautiful. Maybe you want a new closet, Artisan Custom Closets. Maybe you want a garage organization system that's beautiful and practical. Artisan Custom Closets, home office, laundry room, mud room, pantry. Artisan Custom Closets does it all. They actually came and redid my garage for me, put in a beautiful panel on the wall so that I could hang things. I've got a huge basket that carries all our basketballs. It's organized. It's gorgeous. You might want one too. Artisan Custom Closets can do it. They actually have a showroom here. It is back open. So go check them out online, artisancustomclosets.com. Call them to make an appointment, and you can go see their showroom, see everything they have to offer, and see if they can help you say goodbye to clutter. Get a free in-home consultation today. And here's the best part. If you tell them you heard about Artisan Custom Closets from me, Dawn, on the Zone, they give you 10% off whatever your project is, no matter how big or small. Don't forget to ask about their financing, 615-800-2199. That's 800-2199, artisancustomclosets.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone, broadcasting live from Scoreboard Bar and Grill on Music Valley Drive. We love coming here, man.
Yeah.
Just kind of setting up right in the middle of a bunch of televisions. We're just in
Smack dead.
We're ensconced in playoff baseball. Congrats to Guardian fans out there.
There they go.
There they go. They're in town from Akron, as a matter of fact. So they're going to go hang out with the Woo Girls down on Broadway, I'm sure.
Man, they got to put a Browns jacket on.
Shout out to Tara, listener Tara, one of the OG 3HL listeners, for putting out the the Woo Girl costume that she found from for Halloween.
Where? What's she put it at?
We retweeted it.
That was real. Let me go check that out.
Brett Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Dawn Davenport is on assignment, meaning she'll be on the sideline at Coastal Carolina and ODU. That's coming up on Saturday. Alan Bell in the house.
Hey, BZ.
Hey, B, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas? First off, let me say, I want to go ahead and see this Halloween costume first before we get rolling.
All right, let me pull it up.
I think we all going to find it.
Hey, so Dawn's got she's got Old Dominion this week.
Yeah.
It's the third time they've been on television.
Yeah. Good for them, man.
That's the
ODU's not
stat
bad.
I know.
There you go. That's your betting nugget on ODU.
Yeah. How do they do on television? I don't know. They're 1-1.
Dude, Dawn's gonna get a statue outside because every time she does a game on TV, they win. So there you go.
Well, yeah, that's true. We usually talk point spreads with Alan Bell. Sportsline.com. What's going on Sportsline.com these days?
Man, Major League Baseball is in it right now. We just saw, obviously, the Guardians take over the Yankees 4-2. Got the Atlanta Braves game. I don't know what's going on in that one. I haven't seen an update there. But, yeah, I'll tell you this, man. Like, if you're betting these games, understand the pitching matchups. But if you're betting team totals, like 3 is your number. Like 3 is your key number. Once you go above 3, good luck, man. Like, pretty much the Astros are the only ones that consistently hit over that. The Astros just mash, man. I know it's your spot. Like, they just hit.
Yordan Alvarez is on one right now, man.
Dude, on one. As soon as they brought out a starting pitcher and your boy took him yard in one pitch, it was like playing softball when you just mash on somebody. You're like, yeah, you're done.
Well, he fouled the first pitch back, and then he put the second pitch in the upper deck.
He put it on another planet.
It wasn't even a strike. It was like 6 inches off the plate.
That's when you know you're feeling it, dude. You're like, I am green lighting anything that comes down here.
Well, what's funny about him, too, is that, like, Slade and I love when he walks to the plate because he looks like he's either just murdered 10 people or he's about to.
Well, you know what's funny? Like, you see him coming because he's a big dude. All right, that's an excellent Halloween costume, by the way. But it would be like if Slade was playing like rec league softball around here, right? You're like, oh, hey, we got this. Oh, who's this 6'8" dude? Like, don't pitch him a strike. Yeah,
he coming up mean mugging and everything, dude. It's crazy.
Right, we just walking Slade. We're just walking.
I'm going.
Yeah, betting baseball takes too much work for me.
It's
man.
hard.
I got to get into sportsline.com.
You do? You know what? Come on over. Yeah, baseball, but yeah, college football, NFL, sportsline.com, man. We're breaking it all down.
Love that.
All right, let's get into college football. Penn State at Michigan, an interesting line here in that at 7.5, I like Penn State plus the 7.5. At 6.5, I like Michigan minus the 6.5. Yeah. That's kind of where I am with that game. It's kind of weird.
I think you're smart with it, right? Like you're playing the number instead of the teams or the game, right? So that's a good way to go about it. But 2, like you guys remember when James Franklin was here in Nashville, right? And he just had a swagger about him, right?
Yep.
He'd let you know.
Yep.
He's kind of got that back, man. Like Penn State's playing much better now. Michigan's a good football team, but I'm with you. Like this is probably not going to be a high-scoring game. So if you've got one team that's getting 7.5, probably take that. Like you're not looking at a 60-52 style of game, you know.
Penn State's kind of hard to read too.
They are.
James Franklin. Like
the last 2 years they've been hard to read.
Yeah, they can pull a big win and win by a lot, or they can just totally not show up on offense.
Yeah,
and they've got a quarterback who has started 38 games in his career, but he's still like 30th in QBR. So like, I don't know.
It's tough, and like with Michigan, man, like Michigan started hot, and they're kind of going down a little bit, but like they're still winning. They're still undefeated, so you can't knock them, you know. So.
It's a good football team, but it's like I don't know. It's
they're beatable. Like,
you keep waiting for Michigan to kind of dial one back one Saturday.
This could be it. Like Penn State could go in and just win outright. You know what I mean?
At AlanBell247 on Twitter, Kansas's quarterback is out. Oklahoma's quarterback is back. Sooners by 9. A lot of the money is on Kansas because everybody's like watching Oklahoma lose 3 in a row and watching Kansas be electric even in a loss.
49-0.
And all of these things. That line seems just weird enough for me to go Oklahoma on that.
Yeah,
deal.
it does. It does. Right. And you nailed it best. Like you can't, there's nothing to trust with Oklahoma whatsoever. And the problem has actually been their defense. Like, Yeah, their offense isn't great, but the injuries on their defense, they're just giving up 50 points to anybody who rolls into town. That being said, like Kansas without their quarterback, like, I mean, dude, like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have that many playmakers. So, yeah, I kind of feel it on you on that. Like, Oklahoma's going to turn this thing around because they just have players. It's kind of like Florida. Like, you could see them play really bad, and then they show up, they play really good just because they have 5-star players that are all over the field, you know?
Before we make it back down south, I looked at it. I thought Utah was going to be able to have something to prove. They're playing UCLA, and then this week got USC, but it's looking like USC is more so the one with something to prove by having the schedule play out this way.
Yeah, they are. The tough part is that, man, that's a hard place to play, right? And look, you talk about teams you can't get a read on.
Right.
What do you like? What you just said? Like, what do you do with Utah? Like, I was ready to write them off after that loss to Florida, and then they get better, they get better, they get better, and then with USC, like they look great, and then they've kind of done it like a Michigan. You know what I mean? But at some point, it's going to come back together. And I don't know if Utah can score. I'll tell you what, man. I'll take USC. Like a low number there, underdog. I get that it's on the road, but their ceiling is just so much higher. But good luck. Like if they start scoring, man, like good luck.
Yeah. And with Lincoln Riley not pulling off the gas. So this is good. Take it back down to the south. Let's go. Mississippi State and Kentucky. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. Mississippi State and Kentucky, because that way their offensive line playing and they doing Levis, I ain't putting no T on their name. It's sucky. So what you think? What you think with this situation?
Man, it's impossible to bet Kentucky. There's nothing to have faith in, right? And it's crazy how fast that this thing has gone downhill because we were all on the Kentucky train in terms of like, man, they're playing great football. Obviously, when your quarterback Levis goes out, it's going to change things. What we just talked about with Kansas, but dude, on the other side of this, Mississippi State is playing really good football, and they're starting to feel it. Like, I pull for Kentucky and Mark Stoops, like, in terms of I really like Mark Stoops. He's a great coach. This bad timing. Like, they have to win, and I don't, like, usually I like teams back against the wall.
Right.
Don't like it on this one. Like, I think Mississippi State has their business.
Mississippi State basically has one half of football where they did not play well, and then they blew the game at LSU. All right? I didn't jump off. I love this team since –
You've been calling this for a minute. You're right. Yeah.
I just thought this would be an undervalued team this year, and they're going to compete. They're going to compete at Kentucky, Will Levis or not. Kentucky's offensive line has been awful, except for one half of football against Florida, where we called them out, and they used that in the locker room, which I thought was hysterical. And
you guys are everywhere. Yeah,
we are. Can't get rid of 3HL. But I like Mississippi State in this game, and now that the line has gone down because Levis is back from 7 to 3.5, I like it even more.
Oh God, yeah, even more. Right, like. I'd feel comfortable with 7 with Levis playing. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm with you on that one for sure.
Because he's banged up and he's going to get hit.
Yep.
I mean, that's the one consistency with Kentucky's offense this year. Now, they do have an explosive playmaker who's from Nashville. When he gets his hand on the football, look the hell out.
Yeah, Barry Brown, number 2, buddy.
And so that guy can be a disruptive thing. And, you know, that's the one outlier, I think, when trying to – I haven't bet that game yet, but that's the way I'm leaning right now.
Yep.
Let's look at Auburn at Ole Miss. Ole Miss now a 15.5-point favorite. I don't love Jackson Dart. I don't know what you guys think about him. But when you've got Jonathan Mingo rolling around out there, you don't have to be perfect when you throw the football because that dude is a beast. Against Vanderbilt, 9 receptions, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. It would be like if I walked in. The game is going to like this. If I walked in and tried to fight Slay, it's going to take him a minute to get up off the table. But once he does, he's going to cave my head in, right? Like, I think that's how this is going to go. Like, Ole Miss's offense doesn't start fast. Like, we saw it against Vanderbilt, right? Like, kind of tight. But in the second half, their defense is so good, and their offense could get going. They can just run the football on you. I think that's what's going to happen here. So I'll eat the points, even though it is, a lot, 15.5. That being said, also, I believe Auburn has a bye week next week. This kind of feels like this is the end for Brian Harsin. And somehow Lane Kiffin is always involved when there's a firing somewhere, right?
Always.
Like, I think he just finishes it off. So, yeah, I'll take Ole Miss on that.
LSU, Florida.
By the way, real quick, Dawn is lobbying actively for Lane Kiffin at
Yes,
all.
she is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I like it.
She likes train wrecks. With excitement, though. But
Exciting train wreck.
That's a T-shirt, dude. You got to print that.
I mean, you either wreck the train at 40 miles an hour or you do it at 200.
I gave it 200. Yeah.
LSU, Florida, man, both trying to find themselves and put their feet on the ground, both knocking on the door at the top 25. Who's going to take the lead in this?
Yeah, so the good thing is that both of these teams absolutely hate each other, right? So we can start off with that one. Look, I'm going to go with LSU here. I think that LSU actually has better players. The problem is that LSU just doesn't have the depth yet.
Yeah.
With Brian Kelly, they'll get it,
Right.
but they just don't have it yet. I mean, he's only been there for 6 games,
Yeah.
right? But I do think that LSU is a better team. Now, you just have to control Anthony Richardson. You can't let him go crazy. But if you don't, like, this is the game to where it's just going to be athlete on athlete. Like, I think you take the playbook, middle of the first quarter, you just throw it away. You just let him go.
Dude on dude.
And I think LSU's got better dudes, in their starters, right?
I think so. Yeah, we had Todd Furman and Payne Insider on.
Yeah.
And Payne's just kind of a matter of dude.
Yeah.
Right. And he pauses before he talks. He's really measured.
Yeah.
And he's got a great voice. But he goes, yeah, I think the wrong team's favored here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so that's kind of where I am with that, with LSU and Florida. But I think that'll be a great game to watch at 6 o'clock if you like drama and hard-hitting football, because that's what will happen there. Arkansas BYU, weird time for an outlier non-con game right in the middle of an SEC West schedule. KJ Jefferson's been banged up, didn't play last week. He has practiced this week. That line flipped from Arkansas 1.5 to the last I saw it, I haven't looked today, was BYU by a point.
Yeah.
What do you think about that trip?
Awful game. Awful timing.
At altitude, too.
Yeah, awful timing for Arkansas. Like, if this were in the beginning of the year, I would have ridden Arkansas completely. Right. Can't do it now. There's nothing to trust with them, especially if, QB is banged up here, because he's a big dude, and he's a big part of that offense. Yeah. And BYU plays physical, too, man. Like, I'll roll with BYU here. It's just such a weird game and a tough spot for them. I hate to go against Arkansas because I like Sam Pittman a lot, but, yeah man. Like, can't do it.
I like Pittman.
Another weird line, maybe the weirdest line of the day. Alan Bell with us at Alan Bell 247. Clemson, number 4 in the country at Florida State. This is the primetime ABC game.
Yeah.
Herbie and the guys. Clemson just a 3.5-point favorite over Florida State, which you think on the surface, okay, that's way too low a number. Number 4 team in the country against an unranked team that just lost to Wake Forest. But when you start diving into the numbers and the analytics of the matchup, it kind of makes me pause, and I'll probably stay off it, although I will enjoy watching it.
I'll tell you this. Get on it.
You like it?
Take Clemson about a straight half. I'll give you a nugget right here. This is Clemson's last
why I
conference
love AB.
road game.
Nugget right
It's their
here.
last conference road game all year long. That's it. They played all of them. So the rest of their schedule, if you're betting Clemson, they're going to be at home except for one road game against Notre Dame. Other than that, like, this is the last one. And Dabo knows it. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Florida State's playing better than, like, kind of we thought that they would be this year. Like Mike Norvell, he's doing a good job. But, dude, Clemson is too much. And 3.5, I know that, 3, that key number is so much better, but, yeah.
All right. Should we wait and do Alabama after the break? Alabama and Tennessee?
Yeah, I think so. Let's wait.
Tennessee and Alabama.
Let's wait. I'm with it. I'm waiting.
Here, a couple of NFL.
Are they playing
tidbits.
this week?
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow. Indianapolis is going to be without a couple of players, the Leonard and Quiddy Pay. Jonathan Taylor may play, they say. They've got Jacksonville again, who they struggle with, especially in Jacksonville. This one's in Indy. But just a 2-point favorite. What do you think about this matchup?
I'm going to go Colts. It's a must-win game for them, and not that there's anything to really, truly believe in, but their ceiling is much higher than Jacksonville's. Like, Jacksonville's a fun team, but Colts at home, you got a veteran quarterback who knows, like, that they do have to win this game. I'll roll with it just because it's such a low number. I don't have a lot of faith in either of these guys, but if you're giving me 2 at home with the Colts, I'll ride that.
Buffalo, Kansas City. I don't have a direction. I'm leaning Buffalo. What do you think there? I just think they're the better team.
Yeah, they are. And look, I think that this is the most important game on the Bills' schedule, and I think that entire organization knows it. I think they've had it circled, and they know that this is their Super Bowl to get to a Super Bowl, right? Not that Kansas City isn't taking it seriously or anything like that, but this is the most important game. Same way that we looked at the Bills against the Rams in Week 1 is the same way I look at it this one, and their ceiling is so much higher than not only the Chiefs, but anybody. Like, if they're on their A game, good luck.
Dallas at Philadelphia. We've got some good ones in the primetime slots this weekend. Philadelphia, the last undefeated team. What do you do at quarterback if you're Dallas? If Dak's ready to go, you bring him back. Cooper Rush, undefeated.
I mean, you ride the kid until he loses. Like, this is the easy decision on that. But, like, when is it going to fall apart? He's not even turning the ball over. Like, I mean, this guy
It's such an unbelievable situation. Only in Dallas would this happen.
Exactly.
Only.
Where Jerry Jones will make the decision.
Yeah, like, he's like Steve Young going out here. Like, he just doesn't turn the ball over, man. Like, 5.5, that's a weird number. I mean, I'll take Dallas. Like, that's too big of a number to go with Philly. But, dude, like, whenever it falls apart, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be like your buddy's bad divorce. It's gonna be bad. You know what I mean?
And Jerry gonna jump out and say something that's make it even worse.
Oh
So,
yeah, he'll come out and say something like about his Zeke or something like it'll make it way worse. No, he'll make fun of Jimmy Johnson for some reason. Like, yeah,
we're still not putting him in the Ring of Honor. Like what are you talking about, dog?
At Alabama 247. When we come back to Scoreboard Bar and Grill, AB will break down Tennessee and Alabama from a betting perspective. The line has gone from what it was 6.5. It dropped down to 6.5, all the way up to 9. Now at 8.5. We'll see what's going on there with AB next on 104.5 The Zone.
Let's get us some good grub and some good barbecue, man. Good barbecue for your buck. Only at Famous Days. A new deal every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday featuring discounts on burgers, the big sleigh favorite, the feast for two, the smoking sandwiches, and Southside rib tips. Yep. 5,000 Old Hickory Boulevard is one of the locations you can frequent. Hermitage, that is. Smyrna also, 991 Industrial Boulevard. Also Franklin. Now, Franklin is a to-go and delivery only. 1864 West McEwen Drive. Slide on in there. If you're going up for the big game this weekend, 208 Advantage Drive. Slide over there to Famous Days, man. I promise you they got something good for you. Get over there and make your meal even more famous with happy hour specials at Famous Days. Stop in Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Discounts on fried pickles, cheese curds, rib tips, and more. They're always cooking up something new. The Southern Cajun shrimp boil. Can't go wrong with that, man. The tender potatoes, corn on the cob, signature smoked jalapenos. You know what it is, man. The sauce going to be dripping. The bibs ought to be tied up. It's Famous Days.
3HL 104.5, the zone out and about, our Friday spot, Scoreboard Bar and Grill out by Opryland Hotel and Opry Mills and all that stuff on Music Valley Drive. This is a Nashville OG out here, man. Scoreboard.
Sure enough.
And we are sitting here watching the Braves give up homers. Grand slam.
Man.
Bryce Harper just hit a 2-run shot. 6-0 Phillies.
Just getting an interview during the game in the dugout.
That's when you know you're feeling it.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like
he just called the shot, then did the interview
it's
after.
well in hand. Right?
Yeah, with a cartoon mascot.
Put a new pitch in, first pitch, go yard.
Yeah.
See ya.
Alabama with us talking point spreads. We've talked a lot of games so far, so if you missed it, hit the podcast, or you get your podcast for the 3HL podcast, also 1045thezone.com. The one game we haven't hit on yet that we need to hit on, obviously, Tennessee, Alabama, coming up tomorrow, 2:30 kickoff, right here on 1045 The Zone. AB, how do you break this thing down when this point spread is bouncing all over the place?
Yeah, and it is bouncing all over the place, right? So what you do is this, all right, in terms of betting it, you find your constants, all right? So the best bet every single week is Tennessee in the first quarter.
Right.
You got Tennessee +3 in the first quarter. Now, think about what every single coach has said playing against Tennessee, from Billy Napier to Brian Kelly to even Nick Saban earlier this week. Keep the ball away from Tennessee. Keep their offense on the sideline. That's what they want to do. All right? Fine. That's cool. You could give me Tennessee with points because if you're going to try to slow it down and kick a field goal, like, I'll take Tennessee +3. Essentially, if Tennessee scores, you're going to cover that. If you don't like that, take the first quarter over 14 because that means that, Bama went and scored 17. Like, one of those two, like, you're going to be solid.
Tennessee's offense has put so much pressure on opposing defenses. We've been talking about this all week. Slay was mentioning this after the Florida game. These coaches are having to go for fourth downs because they know they need touchdowns.
Yep.
So fourth down conversions for Alabama are going to be a big factor.
Huge. Josh Heupel and his maximum changes the way that you coach. Like, Brian Kelly was out of his element after the opening kickoff, right? Because this offense can just put you in such bad positions, and Nick Saban knows it.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't shying away from saying that, right? Now, it wasn't like he was conceding the game, but, like, he gets it. He's like, dude, like, you cannot let them get, like, this thing out of control because they'll do it early, and you could get knocked out of the game. But the key is, get to halftime, route tied, whatever. Like, then you got a game. Then you're going to make Tennessee have to do some things in the second half. But last week against LSU, like, that was the, like, epitome blueprint of what Josh Heupel wants to do.
Yeah.
Make points, weigh on you and weigh on you and weigh on you. Good luck, man, because they'll keep the ball away from you.
And turn you into who you're not.
Yep, absolutely, man. So, and look, Tennessee can do that. Like, if you're Josh Heupel, all right, here's a question. If you win the toss, you taking the ball first?
I think he would, for sure.
You have to, right? Like, you go down and you use the stadium as your advantage. You use that as your advantage. Because if you go down and score a touchdown, Bama gets the ball back, punts. You go down, score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Buddy, that whole game just changed.
Yes. I think Tennessee's going to have the ball first no matter what because Nick Saban's kind of like Bill Belichick. Like, they like to have the ball to start the second half because the crowd is still in the beer line.
Let me ask you this.
It's not as loud on that drive of the game.
Let me ask you this. We were just talking about coaches and how Tennessee can change the way you go about it. Nick Saban might change and take the ball first and say, I'm not going to let you get the ball and go down and score. Like, I'm going to take that out of you. And if I run the ball 9 times, right, and punt, I'm cool with that and burn 4 minutes. So I think that, like, watch the coin toss. It could change the way Nick Saban looks at it, man. Like, that's what's so much fun about this Tennessee team is that they're so different. And it's like, we talked about Arkansas playing BYU.
Yeah.
This Tennessee team is kind of like that because you catch them and you only have 4 days to get ready for it. And if you mess up once early, buddy, could be a wrap.
Right. And that's the thing, man. So I'm interested to see if that were to take place, what does Alabama look like playing from behind? And if you got a guy like Bryce Young coming into the game 70, 85%, do you start to take more risk because you are playing catch up, or do you continue to stick with what your game plan is and just keep going? Because you know one thing for sure, like we saw in the LSU game, they're not coming off the throttle.
Yep.
Not until they got it in hand, and then they'll start to muscle it around, and then you're playing catch up, and it's a little bit more difficult.
What I love about this Vols team don't even know how to kneel down at the end of games. They run it off. That's what I love about it. No, look, and here's the thing. Like, you're right. And Nick Saban has shown he will take chances, right? Now, Sometimes it's worked for him. But here's the thing with Bryce Young. We're all looking at, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Whatever. There's no way in everything that's going on in the NFL right now with his former quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa that you're just going to run somebody out there and risk that you're going to get his career ended, right? So I am fascinated. And it's not like you're going to play that, does he play, does he not play against Josh Heupel? Do you think he cares? Like, he's prepping for Bryce Young.
There you go.
Right? So I think that all of this and the quietness, I think that they're playing the other guy here because I think the injury could be a little worse than people think.
Well, that's interesting.
And that changes everything because that guy can't
without
throw.
question. Yeah. Lord of mercy.
From an Alabama perspective, also, like Tennessee defensively, they go at you because they would rather take chances and get you off the field one way or the other. Either you score or they turn you over or, they get a behind the sticks play and make you punt, whatever. So they come at you. So the opportunity to have big plays in the pass game will be there for Alabama.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right? Like, we're not calling any kind of, like, Tennessee blowout, but, like, what is interesting, Alabama's great run defense. They only give up 83 yards per game. Tennessee only gives up 89.
There you go.
Like, Tennessee's run defense is good, right? And Nick Saban said it himself. He goes, nobody's paying attention. Everybody talks about their offense. He goes, this is a top 10 defense in creating negative plays for the other team's offense. He goes, watch them. They've gotten so much better week by week by week, and he's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, this game could go so many different routes, so many different. But if things go the way that they did against LSU, I'm just saying, look out.
Yeah.
Like, look out.
Yeah. I love it.
There's not a big difference between these two teams. There's not.
You're just smiling. Like,
hey, man, because
I thought he'd have you, like, energized with all this.
I am.
It's almost like it's not, like, being poured directly into you. It's just kind of soaking.
Hey,
it's an IV dripping into me.
Look, hey, I'll say this. I heard Joe Rogan talk about Mike Tyson fighting, and he said, look, he goes, something flipped when he went to the peak of his time, right? He goes, Mike Tyson, he goes, watch his eyes. He goes, Mike Tyson didn't say a word. He just stared at you. Didn't say a word, knowing that he was about to throttle you. And that's the look that Slay had right there. Like, when Slay gets quiet, look out. Like, that's the danger zone right there.
Man, I'm telling you this too, AB. Like, we're saying a lot of these things. I'm not sure. Like, you definitely know this Alabama team has seen atmospheres like this because they played in national championship games and things of that nature, SEC championship games. But I think this is going to be a little bit different from the time the bus arrives to the stadium to the time they walk into their locker room. Now, in that locker room in Neyland, like, you can hear what's going on outside.
Yeah.
And when it's buzzing, like, a different type of joke goes through your body. When you come out there an hour and a half and you got special teams coming out there to do their warm-ups, and you got the skill guys coming out there to do the warm-ups, and it's a packed stadium already, trust me, as a player, something different mentally happens to you on the road. A lot of people get up for it. Some people, you know what I mean, they shun away from it. But I'm just saying, watch to see if people start doing things uncharacteristically for Alabama or Tennessee, for that fact.
Well, let me also say this, Brad, let me interrupt you. Alabama, the only person on that team, that franchise, whatever, that's seen all that is Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's true.
This team ain't seen it. Like, they could be shook.
That's true.
Quickly.
That's true.
They're not going to be shook.
I don't think shook, but I'm telling you,
they've been
honestly,
in moments.
it's something different. It's something different. I'm telling you, man.
All right.
I used to be able to call home. On Wednesday and let my partners in them know, hey, man, hey, dog, y'all may want to get up here on Thursday, man. The Vol Navy, we just came from practice. The Vol Navy already outside Thompson Bowling. Like, this ain't ordinary. This ain't no ordinary week. Yeah. Man, you can go and see people. When you go into class and you watching these players, you like, hey, dog, like, man, y'all ready? And they look like what AB just said. I've seen it look in Travis Henry's eye and been like, we ain't joking around or nothing there. And I'm like, damn, man, I'm your dog. You know what I mean? I'm an honorary football player. Y'all ain't even messing with me.
Dude.
You know what I mean? It's different, dog.
They were singing Rocky Top.
I'm telling you.
In Tiger Stadium. Like, that's not UAB.
Oh, it was loud on television.
I'm telling you.
Hey, real quick, does it concern you from a Tennessee perspective that so much of the money is on Tennessee?
Usually, yes. This time, no. I think it's legit. And look, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Tennessee's going to win this game. I'll say it for everybody that doesn't want to do it. Hey, I said it against Florida. I said it against Pitt. I said it against LSU. I'm not afraid to do it now. And if it doesn't happen, everybody listening can blame it on me. But Tennessee's a better team. They're a better team than Alabama. I'm telling you.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And the longer that this game goes, the pressure's on Alabama. It's not on Tennessee. Not on Tennessee.
At Alabama247 on Twitter.
Send me the hate tweets.
Yeah.
Sportsline.com. Thank you for coming out, man.
Oh, man. Hey, look, appreciate you guys having me, and I would be lying if I didn't say I've had some great late nights in this place, too. So, yeah.
He's Alabama. When we come back, the happy hour begins. We've got one guest in the 5 o'clock hour, and that is Bear from Game Day. He'll join us at 5:20. Do you have a Jason Aldean ticket winner?
I do, man. Amanda
Hug and kiss.
Szymanski.
I need Amanda hug and kiss.
I wish.
I want to hear that last name again. Go.
Szymanski. Amanda Szymanski.
Amanda S.
There sounds like a C and a Z in there.
I don't know. It's SZY Mansky.
It's a lot of consonants.
Szymanski.
All right. So hopefully Amanda can get down here because that concert is tonight. We're giving away a lot of other stuff. Come by and see us at Scoreboard and make your picks. You can pick games against me and Slay, and if you win, you could win $250 worth of Scoreboard stuff. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem. Call or text. America's #1 sports book. You hear me talk about it all the time. Now's the perfect time to download FanDuel and join today to get started with $150 in free bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's free bets back if your first bet does not win. Sign up with promo code DAWN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets. We're talking money line, point spreads, player props, and you can even combine all of these bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. Live betting, too. Updated odds on games that have already started, and it's all on this app that is safe, it's secure, it's super easy to use. Don't fumble your chance to get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code DAWN. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem. Call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
Want to tell you about my friends at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. This needs to be your stop when you need anything. Craft beer, wine, liquor, bourbon, tequila, whatever you need. Also, cigars. And Tennessee and Alabama are playing this weekend. That's the cigar game. So no matter what side you're on there, even if you don't have a dog in the hunt, this is just one of those kinds of games where everybody's going to watch and choose a side. So either way, get your cigar ready. Because I do. I went in there and saw Jason this week, a couple of days ago, Wednesday. And I hit him when they just opened at 9 a.m., and him and Art were hanging out, and they showed me some tequila selections. So I rolled with that. Then we went, checked out the humidor. Art helped me out there to find my post-Alabama-Tennessee cigar. And, look, I'm not saying Tennessee's going to win. I can't control what happens on the field, but I can control being ready just in case something happens on the field. I'm going to light that thing up on Saturday. I appreciate Jason and Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits for getting that done. They've got everything you need along with the care and expertise to point you in the right direction. They've got expansive bourbon, craft beer, wine selections. For me, it's tequila season, as I mentioned. Locally owned and operated in Brentwood for more than 17 years. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So you've got time to get there tonight to get ready for the big football weekend, or you've got time to get there in the morning before games start. MarylandFarmsWS.com, the website, MarylandFarmsWS.com. That's Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits.
Good evening from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. Alabama and Tennessee, 2:30 kickoff. You can hear every bit of it right here on 104.5 The Zone tomorrow afternoon. But around the NFL, a lot of news coming out on Friday with the final injury reports coming out. Andy Dalton is going to be getting the start for the Saints as he takes on his old team, the Cincinnati Bengals. He is currently 3-0 all time against the Bengals. The Colts, okay, they're very injured right now, which also could run into next week as well. Shaq Leonard has been ruled out against the Jags because of a surgery that he had on his broken nose just a few minutes ago. Jonathan Taylor and Nakeem Hines have both been listed as questionable for the game against the Jags this Sunday. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor because of an ankle, and Nakeem Hines is still going through concussion protocol. And CeeDee Lamb has been added to the Cowboys injury report. He is listed as questionable as they take on the Eagles. And if you look outside right now, it's daytime. That would mean the Atlanta Braves are getting their tails kicked by the Philadelphia Phillies as the series is tied 1-1. But right now the game, 6-0 Phillies in the fifth. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What up, Nashville? Friday in the Music City. 3HL is on the air. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day. Ron Slay is here, too.
Live and direct, baby.
This kind got no room.
What? Yeah.
This kind
got no room. Nope.
It's the Friday before the Tennessee-Alabama game.
Buddy.
When's the last time Tennessee was less than a double-digit underdog in this matchup? I have no idea what the answer to that question is.
I don't even know. Don't want to know. Don't care. I tell them what. I am ready for the game tomorrow, though, boy. I'm ready for the entire atmosphere. Like, I already figured out, man, we're gonna be down there tailgating at start. The setup is at 7.
7 a.m.?
7 a.m. is the setup.
So our guy Todd Furman on his bachelor party, they rented a bus to go up to the Tennessee-Alabama game. They were going to leave here at 7, which is 8 o'clock Eastern.
Right.
Which we were like, wait, what? Y'all are doing it wrong, man. Why didn't you ask?
Yeah. Y'all need to get there. Y'all trying to get there for the game.
So
you got to get there for the festivities.
That discussion happened on the air, so they immediately started getting messages 5 a.m.
Yeah. Smart.
At the latest.
That's smart. Whoever was in charge of that.
I've done that bus thing up to Knoxville before. Boy, that's a dangerous little deal.
Yeah. You've been up.
I mean,
made it.
Yeah, because like you have no responsibilities whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. Just rolling. I would love to do that, actually. Just be able to just roll. You got an answer for me?
Yeah, I've got that answer. I was talking in your ear, Slay.
Just talking out loud to me.
No, I wasn't, but I'll let you know the last time Tennessee came into the third Saturday in October as a single-digit underdog was 2008.
Oh.
All right, 14 years.
That was, what, the year before Saban or something then?
2008 was actually the first year of Saban. Actually, second year of Saban.
Second year. He was there in
The second
07.
year of Saban.
All right.
That was his first undefeated season.
I think that's the year it all fell apart too, right?
Uh-huh. Yep, went downhill, baby. Yeah. Went downhill. Ain't been able to find that bike or that helmet since.
Oh, just heads underwater.
Yeah.
Now Aquaman swam in there. Swam in there.
He swam.
Got up under the Tennessee program's feet, lifted the head above the water.
Yes, we back, baby.
Now can they crawl up on the beach?
It's like Dave Chappelle right there. We back, baby. Hey,
I'm Rick James.
Yeah.
I used to tell Richie
Twitch.
James that when he played at Middle Tennessee. We'd have him on the show. I was like, why do you go by Richie, man? Go by Rick. I'm Rick
That'll
James.
do it. That'll do it right there.
He's still Richie in the NFL.
Come on,
rolling around. Been playing forever.
Richie James.
By the way, Valus Jones with a awful punt fumble last night.
See, I didn't even watch it, man, and I wanted to see what my guy was going to do, man.
Bears were leading 7-6.
Ooh.
Washington couldn't do anything on offense. He went back to field the punt at like the 10-yard line and hit him in the helmet.
Come on, Valus.
He fumbled. They scored like 3 plays later. Won the game 12-7.
Oh,
Yeah, it was tough.
Yes, you got it. Nathaniel's need breaks.
All right, shoot your shot.
Yes.
That's coming up this hour. Also, when you come to Scoreboard, you can register for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Tennessee UT Martin, Tennessee Kentucky, Tennessee Missouri. MTSU Western Kentucky, which is tomorrow at Floyd Stadium. We already have a Jason Aldean winner. I forget who won. Slay had a
Amanda Szymanski.
Oh, there
she is. How you say it? Oh, Szymanski.
See,
why did I put the Z in there?
See,
was it a Z in there, Amanda? Amanda.
She can't hear you.
Was it a Z in there? Oh, there it is. Polish. It's Polish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, she's wearing a
Penn State.
Penn State.
There you go.
I don't.
Penn State.
Hey, there were Ohio State fans here earlier, so.
I didn't want to leave her hanging.
I love it.
Y'all both hate Michigan, though. That's true. Tickets to see Jelly Roll, tickets to the Tennessee Beer, Wine, and Shine Festival. You have to be here for that.
Yes.
3HL Happy Hour headline presented by Kickstand Cocktails, Real Spirits, Crushable Spice.
Yeah.
Preds fall last night 4-1 in the home opener to Dallas. They play in Dallas again on Saturday, I believe. Cleveland took down the Yankees today in 10 innings, and the Phillies are leading the Braves 6-0 in the fourth inning. Bear from Game Day will join us at 5:20 as we get ready to roll. The Tennessee line has shifted a little bit, went down to 6.5 this morning. News that Cedric Tillman will not play, shifted it back up a little bit. Also, it looks like Bryce Young he is a game-time decision, but Saban's saying things like, I know he thinks he can play.
Right.
So the line is now 8.5 for Tennessee and Alabama.
We also heard, I heard on Blaine and Mickey.
The Rascal Show.
Blaine and Mickey today, Rascal and Lucas Panziga was sitting in for the Hitman. And they also said that 1% chance that McCullough plays. So
1%.
1%. That was given by Jimmy Himes.
A 1% chance?
1% chance he plays.
Not a 2% chance.
No, and only a 1% chance that Tillman plays. So I took that as, you're telling me it's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Saying there's a chance.
How does McCullough affect them? They're not good on the back part of the defense.
Right.
So without him, he started a lot of games for Tennessee. There are going to be opportunities for Alabama in the pass game. But Tennessee's going to try to pressure, try to bring blitzes that Alabama hasn't seen. I'm more curious to see how Bama attacks Tennessee defensively and if they start bringing people. Because if they do, that opens up man-to-man situations on the outside for Hendon Hooker. So we go back to Tennessee's offensive line and how they deal with Alabama's pressure is a huge, huge element to this football game. Alabama will try to make Tennessee run the football.
Right.
Can Tennessee run the football?
Yeah, you're right. Who's more composed, man? Hendon Hooker, looking down the face of that defense coming down. Cooper Mays up front, helping direct traffic, get the linemen lined up. Carvin, those guys to step up. A lot of people, man. A lot of people. It's not like we got freshmen out here playing this time. Like, you got some guys, some seasoned guys that have seen a couple of things. It's going to be interesting.
At 3HL 1045, you can get us there on Twitter. Again, we've got Bear from Game Day coming up. Quick NFL note, Colts coach Frank Reich says linebacker Shaquille Leonard and defensive end Kwity Paye are out on Sunday against the Jags. Running back Jonathan Taylor has a chance to play, is how he put that. So we'll break down some of these big college football games coming up next with Bear from Game Day on 1045 The Zone.
Red Dog Wine and Spirits. I told you earlier to check it out and make sure everything that I said was going to be real. I hope you went on down to 1031 Riverside Drive in Franklin next to Publix off Highway 96. If you did, you were taken care of because they always got you. Now, I was telling you about the tasting of the week. More on that. Perfectly cordial mixes, great cocktails within reach of the novice or the enthusiast bartender. Through perfection and flavor and simplicity of use, their cocktail mixers without mess or fuss. Perfectly cordial works perfectly for both mocktails and cocktails if you want to, play around with that. But anyway, Saturday, 3 to 6, you got the wine tasting with Sammy. It's a Riesling German beer wine. See Enchantress Red Blend from California. And You got a nice one from France. You want to slide on over there Saturday 3 to 6. The first one is Friday. Today 3 to 6. Shoot your shot coming up right here on 3HL. So pay attention and don't move. Red Dog got you.
There is a big football game going on in Murfreesboro tomorrow as well. Big rivalry game, and I love it. Western Kentucky in town in the borough to play Middle Tennessee State. A big, big football game. MTSU football back in action inside Floyd Stadium tomorrow, hosting longtime conference rival from just about 100 miles away. You know what I'm talking about there, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I will be in attendance. If you see me, come holler. MTSU invites alums, friends, and family to join them in the winner's circle for the 2022 homecoming game. Come early, wear your blue, because it's going to be a day full of family fun as Floyd Stadium provides guaranteed fun for fans of all ages. The tailgating is so much fun, and we're looking forward to it. Celebrate the day at the annual homecoming parade at 10 a.m., tailgate, and then enjoy that 2:30 p.m. kick. Be sure to check out the Blue Raider Beer Garden and the Blue Raider Family Fun Zone inside the stadium. To purchase tickets, visit goblueraiders.com/tickets. That's goblueraiders.com/tickets. Grab your seat today. Middle Tennessee, we are Blue Knighted. 3HL 104.5, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Dawn Davenport is in, where is she? Myrtle Beach. Coastal Carolina and Old Dominion. She'll be on the sideline.
Yep.
On one of the ESPN properties.
Getting to it.
We have talked a lot of college football today. Titans are off this week. So we've been able to focus in on one of the great college football Saturdays of the season, honestly. There's 6 games involving 2 ranked teams playing each other. One of them, obviously, is occurring in Knoxville. We always love having Chris Felica on with us. You might know him as Bear from Game Day. Chris, what's up? How are you?
What's going on, man? It's actually not even you can say not even one of the bigger days of the season. It's one of the biggest days in college football history. If you're looking at, you've got 3 games between teams that are 5-0 or better. I mean, it's only the second time in college football history you've had 3 games in the same day with teams 5-0 or better. If you throw in TCU, Oklahoma State, and Penn State, Michigan. So yeah, it is a day for college football diehards. It's a day to give your wife or your significant other the credit card, go shopping, spend the day with your girlfriends or whoever else you want to spend it with. And then I'll be downstairs watching football, college game day starting at 9 a.m. until the wee hours in the morning when Nevada and Hawaii ended probably about 3 in the morning.
Wow, that was some advice there from Bear.
Yes, it was.
I am a relationship saver, advice giver, whatever you want.
Bear, do we put a limit on that card before we give it to him, or we just give it to him?
No, I think tomorrow is just go at it type of day. Have fun tomorrow, and then we put the limit on after that.
So on a day like this, like how much time do you spend trying to figure out which few games you put on your board that we all see next to you on game day?
It's interesting because usually I like finding some of those like games that are kind of second tier type games.
Yeah.
But I think tomorrow with some of these games and some of the lines in the games and some of the underdogs and maybe some of the value with the favorites, it might be a couple of bigger games than usual. But it's really hard in a week like this because there are so many big games, and those are the games that everybody really wants to know about. So this might be a week where you're not going to see very many of the MAC games or the Conference USA games. You're going to see a lot of games with some teams that you're familiar with.
At Chris Felica on Twitter. You need to follow him. Chris, I'm looking at a stat you put out there that I'm going to read that's going to make Slay really happy.
Okay, talk to me.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
In the college football playoff era, there have been 16 regular season meetings between teams 5-0 or better. The home team has won 15 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, pal. That's what I'm here for, pal.
And that's something where a lot of people kind of shrug off trends or little notes like that. But at the same time, I think it goes to indicate when you've got 2 teams that people think are really, really good and are on the same level, that home field matters. In these games.
Yeah.
With Tennessee being an underdog, if they can get off to a good start tomorrow and that crowd can get involved, we've seen Alabama on the road, whether it was the Texas game or going back to last year when they lost at A&M, had a couple other games at Auburn, which they very easily could have rode. Like Alabama on the road could be a thing. So if the Vols can start quickly tomorrow afternoon, that would certainly get that crowd involved and give the Tennessee fans what they came to see.
Bear, I saw Reese Davis put out something talking about game day experiences, some that he thought were pretty incredible. I know Washington one. Coming back to Rocky Top, man, the decision to come back there, and once you get back there, I know it was. Tell us what it was like, that Florida game. Was it everything as expected? And do you expect this to times 2 that experience?
Yes, it was everything that we expected. Because I always say that the places I like going are the places that we haven't been in a long time. And it had been, 6 years or so since we've been to Knoxville. And so it was great to be back. And the answer to your second question is no, I don't expect it to be times 2. I expect it to be like times 10 because the magnitude. Seriously, this is a game, and you know the rivalry and these fans. This is what they're clamoring for. They are desperate for a big win against one of the SEC heavyweights. What is it, the last 11 games versus Alabama and Georgia? They haven't been closer than like 3 touchdowns, and it's like an average of 31 points a defeat. Now you've got Alabama, who might be as vulnerable as they've been in a long time. If you go back over the last 14 games against SEC opponents for Alabama, 8 of them have either been a loss or a single-digit win. And that's the same number that they had in the previous 49 games. So this is still a good Alabama team, a very dangerous Alabama team, one that I would expect Bryce Young to play. But at the same time, I think for the first time in a while, there is a little bit of uncertainty as to who will win the game between Alabama and Tennessee.
How do you think Bryce Young will be affected by that shoulder? I mean, I know he's going to play, but he's also been limited in practice, which means he is on a pitch count and he is dealing with something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I honestly don't know. I wish I were a quarterback. I wish I had an idea. I would guess it's probably at this point a pain management deal, based on what they said the injury was. I will say, I remember when the injury first happened a couple weeks ago. I know Nick had said that it was something that he's had happen in the past, and it worked itself out pretty quickly. And we've seen a lot of the Alabama players make very quick, speedy recoveries. Remember a couple of years ago, Tua had that ankle procedure done, and he was back on the field in 10 days. So I would expect Bryce to be somewhere, I don't want to say 100%, but I think he'll be out there well enough where if Alabama were to lose, I don't think you can certainly use his shoulder as a potential excuse as to why Alabama didn't win the game.
I've got to ask you this, because you're in that sports gambling world, obviously. From a Tennessee fan perspective, should they be nervous that so much of the money is on Tennessee?
Yes. I like to have – I have a little joke saying that I always joke about is the dogs with fleas, and the ticket count is through the roof on the home dog. But you know what? It doesn't mean that Tennessee can't win. It means that a lot of people – are seeing the same thing. That, like you said, Alabama didn't look great last week. They're uncertain about Bryce Young. They feel good about where Hooker in this offense is, and the fact that the game is in Knoxville. I think some Tennessee backers might need to be a little bit concerned about Tillman and his status for the game. McCullough's status as well, I think, is a big deal. But I always like to trust the odds makers when it comes to this. If a number is higher than some people might expect it to be, or they have a number where it's been 7.5 all week, and they hadn't moved it all week, even with all of that Tennessee money coming in. That's a sign that they have a pretty good respect for Alabama, and so on. They're welcoming the Tennessee money north of the field, or the north of the touchdown. And now I think you see with the kind of the assumption that Bryce Young is playing the 5-back on Alabama, still probably if it's 10 will be big. But I still think the odds makers are a little unsure about this.
Let's do this. Let's put him on hold real quick, see if we can get a cleaner signal. But really interesting stuff with 16 5-0 or better games in the college football playoff era, and the home team is 115. That's interesting because you're talking about two pretty level when you're evaluating the game, they're kind of level typically, and then the home field means something.
So if you wanted to bet, and you're going to bet, it almost seems, as we bring Bear back in, Bear, it almost seems if you wanted to bet, because that stat was so intriguing, interesting, and everything else you want, exciting. You had me over here shaking my knees and everything, listening to that. But, man, it almost seems that if I want to bet that Tennessee's going to win, I don't need to really take the points. It seems like I should just go money line.
Correct. This has the feel of a game where either Tennessee wins the game outright, and it's going to be a Saturday for the ages here, or Alabama does its thing and wins by double digits and they cover the number. Yeah. I know there are a lot of gamblers out there that don't necessarily like doing that, giving up such a wide range of points, but that's how I see the emotions of this game. Tennessee either finally breaks through and wins, or Alabama comes in, gets their methodical double-digit win, and status quo in the SEC. But I love the way you think.
I always think Chris Felica with us, Bear from Game Day. I always think, Chris, that it's interesting to watch lines move when you get player information, like the Mississippi State-Kentucky line, right? Mississippi State was a 7-point favorite on the road. We now learn that Will Levis is going to play.
Yeah.
The line goes down to 3.5. What do you think about that game? Because to me, on paper, it looks like Kentucky, even with Will Levis, their offensive line struggles so badly that he's going to get hit. And Mississippi State's offense is just running, just humming.
Yeah, I think we saw last week how much Will Levis means to that offense, and I don't know if you can specifically put a point spread amount on it, but it's good that he's playing. But I heard it's a turf toe, and those things can linger. So if he's running for his life behind that line against a pretty good Mississippi State front, yeah, I would still lean Mississippi State in this game because I still think you're going to get some turnovers. You're going to get some sacks and field position. And Mississippi State, I think, is one of those teams right now that nationally is underrated. They're a brutal fourth quarter in Baton Rouge away from being undefeated. You get Alabama by the week next week as well in Tuscaloosa. So we'll see what happens if that maybe sets up another massive SEC West showdown next week. But I would agree. I like Mississippi State, and I like the fact that you may be getting a little bit better number now, being that Levis is back.
Ole Miss and Auburn. What do we expect out of this? Jackson Dart. I haven't been a really believer in him. But some reason, Lane Kiffin somehow seems to find a way towards the end of the game to know what the spread is, I guess, and make sure they cover it. So,
Isn't it funny to watch things like that?
Yeah, because Vandy had it. Vandy did what they were supposed to do, and it was like, nah, we ain't kneeling on this.
And then that thing was sitting on 17, which was the line.
Right. That was wild, man. What you think, man, Bear?
I can't see very many points in this game. You hit on it. The Ole Miss offense is a primarily run-based offense. That's kind of hid some of the issues in the passing game. They got a couple of backs, and Dart can run. This is more. I would look at an Auburn team total under. It's just a matter of time before they part ways with Brian Harsin. It'll probably be the end of the season. But Auburn's got a ton of quarterback issues right now. Against an Ole Miss defense, it's been really good. I would look at the under and an Auburn team total under in this game.
Penn State and Michigan. That's an interesting one to me. We were talking earlier about this one. At 7.5, I kind of like Penn State. At 6.5, I kind of like Michigan. That's a tough place to be.
Yeah, I was just thinking, and the funny thing is, I've had conversations with Chris Andrews, the head odds maker at the South Point in Vegas about that. It's almost counterintuitive sometimes, where people automatically think, if it's 6.5, I'm going to lay it. If it's 7.5, I'm going to take it. It's almost the other way around, where if it's 7.5, you want to lay it, and if it's 6.5, you want to take it. So it's a little weird. But at the same time, in this game, I kind of lean towards Penn State, just because I think the Penn State defense is the best unit on the field. I'm not sure the Michigan wide receiver grouping is really going to be able to threaten that secondary. And we're going to learn a lot about both of these teams because they're both undefeated. You've got Penn State, whose strength of schedule is 90th. You got Michigan, whose strength of schedule is 95th. And then you have Penn State. Penn State's kind of in that position that Tennessee's in. They're dying for a big win over a top 10 team since 2016 when they upset Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game. They're 0-9 against top 10 teams. However, 5 of them have been by 4 points or fewer. So they've been close. They just can't get over the hump. And it will be massive for James Franklin with the whiteout game against Minnesota next week and then Ohio State in 2 weeks. If they can get out of State College with the win, that would really set them up to be the main challenger of the Big Ten East, Ohio State.
I know a weird point spread, just talking to college football fans that might not dive into the sports gambling world but know the point spreads, think the Oklahoma point spread might be kind of strange because they've lost 3 in a row. They do get their quarterback back. It looks like Kansas will be without theirs. What do you think about that line at 9?
Yeah, I would still lay it with Oklahoma here. And I think, again, we talk about Tennessee as an underdog getting a majority of the money and the tickets. It's the same thing here with Kansas. And Stanford Steve and I have had a conversation on the podcast and then Daily Wager about how about one of the hardest things to do is just forget about how poorly a team played the week before. And that's the thing with Oklahoma. If you can put that out of your mind and be like, okay, the last time we saw them with Dylan Gabriel in the first half against TCU, they were scoring points. Against Nebraska, they were scoring points. With Gabriel back in, that's a massive addition for their offense. So their offense is going to look a lot better, and I'm a little curious how Kansas will respond. The backup quarterback Bean will be playing with Daniels out for a little bit. So I don't think Kansas is going to completely fall off of a cliff because they're too well coached. But it's what Lee Corso likes to say, urgency and redemption. I think the fact that Oklahoma has looked so bad the last couple of weeks, and you get Gabriel back now, massive difference. I like the Sooners to cover that number.
Bell, we got LSU and Florida. If this was a one-on-one matchup with Anthony Richardson versus Jaden Daniels, then I think we'd take Anthony Richardson. The problem is
right.
you got to put 10 other guys out there on both squads. So what do you do with this matchup, man? You're playing in the swamp. Is LSU going to be able to turn it? Can Ojulari get loose and cause havoc on Anthony Richardson?
He probably can, because I think Florida is going to have a couple injuries there on the offensive line. From what I gather. Yeah, I think obviously both of these offenses are having problems. I don't fully trust the LSU offense to score a bunch of points either. I think this is a dead under type of game, and I think the loser is in serious jeopardy of not making bowl game this year.
I wrote that down, actually. The losing first-year coach is staring at a 6-1 season.
Have fun in Gainesville and Baton Rouge if you go 5-7, potentially first year.
Oh, my gosh.
That goes well.
Well, we really
his family.
We really appreciate the visits, man. Always enjoy your perspective. Love the conversation. Hope you have fun again this weekend in Knoxville. And please let everyone over there know that we in Nashville and everywhere, I guess, thinking about Coach. Of course, I know he's like a dad to y'all, and we love him too.
He is, he'll be. He's with us. I saw him at the meeting today, and he looks and sounds great. And it looks like his health issues are cleaned out. So we're really happy to have him back, and we'll see what he does at the end of the show. We'll see if go Tennessee or go Alabama. You can fire up those sportsbook apps at the end of the show, and maybe back Corso or fade Corso, or maybe you can have some fun with my picks in the board as well. We'll see if those guys have planned for us on tomorrow. I'm sure John Murray and I will be talking to see what kind of fun we can have on Saturday.
Man, I can't wait to watch. That's great news about Coach, and tell Herbie we said hello too. And
I sure will.
We appreciate the visit, man.
Absolutely. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
There he is, Chris Felica, at Chris Felica on Twitter, man. I'm telling you, if you like college football, which obviously you do if you're listening to us, this dude is a must-follow.
Without question.
With the stats and the numbers and everything he puts out there, it's absolutely phenomenal. All right, we're going to wrap the show.
Let's do it.
Tennessee, Bama Friday.
Who we picking?
Who are we picking? That's coming up next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Buddy Alley Carpet One, they are your flooring experts, and they are a local company. Love these guys. Here's the thing. They're going to be with you every step of the way, from the idea through the installation, every step of the way. Big box stores, they turn you over to a 1-800 number when it's time for installation. You have no idea what's going on there. That's not the case at Buddy Allen. They will be with you every step of the way. Locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. Check them out in Donaldson, 2405 at Lebanon Pike, 615-883-3289, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com.
It's finally here, people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gather around because Superbook Sports is dropping it on you. They dropping the spreads, people, and they got the odds bets popping. So get on over there, man. How do you get there? If you don't have any idea, let me exactly tell you. You don't need to bet on the game to enjoy the football. What you need to do, you don't need to go there. You can bet on it in your hand. Download the Superbook Sports app or visit superbook.com. Start placing your bets right now from Nashville to Knoxville and all around the country, man. Superbook Sports is circling the wagons, man, and you got Superbook TN if you're right here in the state. Get on that app, man. Follow them on IG, all the social media. Follow me, The Ron Slay, man, and I promise you I won't lead you wrong. You get the parlay popping, and you can get your bets in. Wager on all that and more. With MLB, the playoffs going on right now, you got college football, you got the big leagues. It's going down. Basketball right around the corner, offering up to $1,000 bonus when you sign up, deposit, and wager in the same day. Get in action right now with Superbook Sports. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it. Excuse me, sir. You know, the bones of the stadium are still intact. You have the VOLS up on the board. There's new amenities everywhere. In Neyland. Hey, man, we don't care nothing about that. It's still Neyland, and it ain't got no room. Yes, the hype train. It runs right through Knoxville. Coach Josh Heupel and these 2022 Vols? Ooh-wee! We talking Hendon Hooker. Oh, the deep threat, Cedric Tillman. That defense led by Trayvon Flowers, tapping right into that orange power, T-power. Ooh, and coming off the edge, Byron Young. Heads up, Ball Nation. Because right now, it's football time in Tennessee. Tennessee.
Listen, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you something right now.
Talk to me, y'all.
Tennessee is the better football team than Alabama.
Okay.
Alabama has been in these big situations before. They've been in these environments before. That is an advantage.
Yeah.
Bryce Young has a shoulder problem.
Mm-hmm.
That will affect them.
Very true.
Tennessee is going to unique blitz him to death.
Yeah.
There will be plays to be made in the pass game for Alabama. The one outlier is Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
The running back is averaging 8.3 yards per carry.
Right.
That's the guy that kind of makes me nervous from an Alabama perspective.
Yeah,
Will
dog.
Anderson on defense, can he affect Hendon Hooker? And affect, I mean, strip sack going the other way. This is maybe the most interesting college football matchup of the season to me.
Yeah.
Because so many different things can happen. But all things being equal and, turnovers being similar, Tennessee's a better football team.
I think so, too, y'all. I think you got to look at it coming into it. Can they be the better football team on that day? That's what it's going to come down to. You know what I mean? It don't even matter. But one thing for sure, I've been in Neyland, man, when it was 1998, man, and the Vols were playing the Gators, and I was a senior in high school, man, and I saw everybody rush the field, and my coach wouldn't let me, and I was pissed off, man. But guess what? We got on that bus the next day, on that van that night, man. And I told him, Coach, call him, tell him I want to commit. Because of that atmosphere. And that's what I'm putting it on, man. I'm putting it on the fans. I'm telling the fans come out in droves. It's 100+ sitting in the stadium. We need 50+ sitting outside the stadium at the watch party. So when it does happen and it spills over into the field, we can fill Knoxville with plenty of cigar smoke. And it's going down, man. I'm putting it all on the fans. Change the atmosphere.
Bama an 8.5-point favorite now in this football game. That clearly means that Bryce Young will play.
Yeah.
So can't wait. 2:30 the kickoff. We'll be breaking it down on Monday either way.
Mm-hmm.
If Tennessee wins, you may hear a Slay-a-thon where Slay just camps out in the studio and is in the mix on all of the shows at all times.
All shows.
It's like a Slay sit-in.
Man, you can get right. That's what exactly. I like it, y'all. It's a Slay sit-in come Monday, baby.
Shoot your shot coming up in just a second. First, let's go to the phones real quick. Gator Mike, what you got on Trash Talk Friday, brother?
First off, thanks for reliving one of the worst days of my life, 1998. But that's okay. Anyway,
my bad, Gator Mike.
Slay, it's Trash Talk Friday, baby. You know who's going to win tomorrow? Florida's going to win tomorrow because LSU, number one, they smell like corn dogs, right, Brent?
I like it.
Number two,
That's what they say.
Tom Petty Day in the swamp night game.
Oh, is
So
that
they're
true?
honoring Tom Petty family. Yeah, they're wearing stickers on the helmet and everything.
Oh,
They ain't
man.
gonna. So like the song they do, Brent, we won't back down. They're not losing to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels will look like Chase Daniels tomorrow night. Well, we're set up. That's what I'm talking about. Go
like
Petty.
it. I like it, Gator Mike.
I like how Gator Mike ended with the strongest play.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels going to look like Chase Daniels. That's pretty good.
He's a Nathaniel. But
He was pretty good in college.
No, he was a gunslinger, man.
Bro.
Ready to shoot your shot? I think it's time, baby.
Yeah.
All right, shoot your shot, man. Brought to you by Red Dog Wine and Spirits, the latest and greatest from Rare Character, the Fortuna Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Come in for a sample and leave with a bottle or 6. It's delicious. Red Dog got you. Either one of them, man. Time to shoot our shot, Mario. Let's do it, baby. You want to go? You want me to go?
You go.
All right, listen, man.
Actually, I think you are like the cherry on the top.
Okay, look,
right?
Okay, go ahead. Go
right?
ahead.
Don't you think?
I'll tell you, I'll be the cherry.
All right, I think that, again, maybe the most interesting matchup of the college football season. I think both teams understand the fact that they can lose this game, not that
Right.
they want to, and still be in the mix for the college football playoff. So that means I think they're going to play free. I think you're going to get each team's best. I think Tennessee's got more. I think Tennessee's got elite playmakers on the outside at wide receiver that Alabama, strangely, for the first time in forever, doesn't have.
Right.
And I think Hendon Hooker and those receivers are going to be the difference. I think Tennessee's going to make enough plays on defense to maybe force some turnovers, force some fourth down stops, and keep that offense moving. I think Tennessee wins 37-24. Tennessee by 13.
Yeah, y'all.
Go Vols.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, man. I like it. Y'all, real quick.
What you got, Slay?
Tennessee Beer, Wine, and Shine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Got 2 winners. Alicia Johnston.
There she is right there.
Hey, there she is. And Marty Barone. Marty Barone. All right.
Marty's right behind you.
Marty.
There
you go, Marty.
Hey, that's going to be a lot of fun, man. I hear great things about that. I may be there, too.
Man, all right, here it is.
Beer,
bro.
wine, and shine. Why would you not want to be a part of that?
Like, why wouldn't you want to shine with the beer? Or the wine.
Or the shine.
Or the shine. That's right.
All right, what you
man,
got,
this is what I got, man. I'm telling you right now, man, a lot of things are being pointed to the phenomenal players, man, that they have. When you talk about the best player on the field, there's no question is Will Anderson. I think we all understand that. And probably on the offensive side of the ball, individual talent, you got to get to Bryce Young, even when just 90% healthy, because he got an NFL mind and everything. The good thing about it, man, we not playing one-on-one. We playing 11 on 11, and I'm going to give a lot of credit to Willie Martinez. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Tim Banks. I'm going to give a lot of credit to Coach Rodney Gardner, and I'm going to say them boys going to come out there ready to play, man. There's going to be some standstills. Bama going to have to play catch-up. I think that crowd's going to be a factor. It's going to be fireworks popping. It's going to be smoky, sicking them. You're going to look for elephants. We ain't going to be able to find the elephant. His trunk going to be missing because I'm going to have it. I'm going to be twirling the trunk around in the air over and over and over, and I might sling it out there in the river. He might not have a navigation back home. Saban, it's one thing. He is cold-blooded, one of the greatest we ever seen in our life. I've seen it with my own eyes, man. Bear Bryant ain't walking through that door, and soon Father Time got to catch up with Nick Saban because he undefeated. This is the time. Father Time is knocking on the door. Vols, 35-30. Let's go. Go Vols.
There he is. He's Rod Slay.
We're done.
He's shooting his shot. You can shoot your shot on our Twitter feed at 3HL1045. We've got a lot. We got a lot more things to give away too. Slay thought he was ending right there with the
that's how you
exclamation
end it,
point.
man. You don't come back with another. Jeffrey Hunter, come on down. You just won tickets to the Vols versus Alabama game.
No.
Oh, what is this?
Don't be
See,
doing
that's why you get this to me? Come on, man. My energy too high right now. Adrenaline pumping. You want me
CJ,
to read some
which
names?
game is that?
I'm already in the zone, man. What?
Is CJ saying it's either UT Martin, Kentucky, or Missouri?
See, that's what hey, come on, man. Jeffrey Hunter, come get something. You got something, Jeffrey. Jeffrey Hunter, you got something.
Is he Jeffrey the Elephant Hunter?
Hey, it makes sense. Put
my,
it all together
My
for me,
visual
Lord.
of you swinging a trunk above your head
That's
is
gonna
like,
be me.
It's like the blood flying off the end of the trunk.
And guess what? I'm gonna be mouth open trying to catch it because it's going down. We're gonna get all the way gruesome with it. It's Halloween anyway. I went and saw that last night. Halloween Ends.
How was it? But you don't like scary movies.
I know.
Hey, Slay, you know you could have watched that on Peacock, right?
Oh, really? No.
No, he went
LeBron got to go.
He went 4D.
4D too. Yeah,
Dude,
LeBron
no,
need the whole
this ain't
experience.
4D.
Yeah, you need the whole experience. Trust me.
Sometimes you just need to be in the theater.
Yeah,
man.
you got to be there.
I miss those days.
I
boy.
do too, dog. I do too. It feels foreign in there now, man.
Jamie Lee Curtis, the greatest screamer of all time, which sounds bad, but it's true.
Yes. Dude, they put on a good show, though.
35-30.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking, man. And I think the Vols going to be up. Alabama going to have to catch up to make it 35-30.
So I said 37-24, and then I started doing math in my head. I'm going to go 38-24. 38-24.
that.
That's official. That's
like
one
that.
field goal. I like that better. 38-24.
I like that.
See, you get me worked up, man. I just start spewing stuff.
Hey, man, here it is, man. Father Time catches up, baby.
Are you headed to Knoxville like right now?
Man, I'm going right now. Let's go, baby. Everybody
You will be
hydrate.
broadcasting live with Kayla, Ramon, and Will, right?
Yes. Tomorrow we'll be at the Student Union Center up there, man. It will be going down, so come through, holler at us. I think this is a private event, but you can also catch us at the VFL tailgate. If not, swing through, high five us, do whatever you want to do. I'm going to have the mic, and I'm going berserk starting at 7 a.m.
I love it. I'll be over at MTSU. If you're over there, say hey to me. We'll have the TVs on in the box on Tennessee, Bama, cheering and cursing at weird times.
I'm going to take CJ Heath Schuler jersey up there with me. Make CJ walk around with no shirt on.
You know, everything is circular, man. At the Tennessee-Florida game, I was up at Circle Park after the Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And I ran into Heath Schuler.
Did you?
While I was smoking a cigar.
It only makes
sense. And
sense.
I took a picture with Heath Schuler. I never put it out on social media.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know. All right, Tennessee and Alabama, Saturday, 2:30. Appreciate the guys at Scoreboard. Later.
See you.
Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.